Primetime, that's the name.
Primetime.
Primetime.
What time is it? Showtime, primetime.
It's XL Primetime, featuring Joe C.,
Why in the world am I sitting back and being quiet about this?
Matt Hayes,
Suck it up, Buttercup.
Mia O'Brien,
My nose just decided to start bleeding.
and Leon Searcy.
Now, you're just talking tomfoolery.
Yeah.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
Short work week and a long week of college and pro football, high school football as well, coming your way. I just feel like I got to let out a little on a Wednesday as opposed to a Thursday, because you want to know what, people? We are beginning our weekend tonight.
It is.
I went
Turkey Day.
Yeah, it is.
Matt
Turkey-
Hayes already beginning his
Yeah,
week.
he's off.
He's
Matt
off.
Hayes is out. So if you log on to YouTube and check out 1010XL, we're minus Matt Hayes, but Big Sirs is here, Mia's here, I'm here, JJ's here, and we're ready to rock and roll. I went and picked up the daughter from the airport last night,
Love it.
and the son-in-law showed up too. But, they came as a package deal. I'm all right with it.
Did they fly that Allegiant flight that we
Yeah.
love?
I want to say that might have been an Allegiant flight last night. I'm trying to remember. Anyway, they got in around 10 o'clock, and so they usually go Southwest, but occasionally will bounce to another airline. But they came in safe and sound. Everything was good. A little turbulence, but nothing bad. And I'm guessing the airports are going to be packed. They definitely are going to be packed. I'm not giving away my secret on where I pick up the daughter and son-in-law, because I don't want anyone else to know about it. But there's secrets around when you pick people up down there, because it gets packed
Private jet.
at the airport.
Private jet.
Yeah, I should wheels up, right? That would be good. Go right out into the tarmac. All right, so I'm sure there's people picking up people everywhere. Travel day today, whatever it might be. If you're hanging out with us, hit us on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, 641-1010. We will come up with, you can give us your best Thanksgiving sides. You can give us I want the one relative that you're not looking forward to showing up, okay? So if you don't mind, and you might just give us a little brief description.
And if you can't think of them, because it's you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's me.
So the one relative that you really aren't looking forward to seeing, you can hit us on the text line with that 641-1010 and your best sides or whatever you want to do. We say thanks, honestly. We say thanks to everybody out there that hangs out with us, your family, that's for sure. Now, as I mentioned, high school football, we're going to dedicate a large part of that 2 o'clock hour to those big games that are coming up, but we got to get into your Jaguars against the Houston Texans, and rivalry weekend is here, and you've got Florida State with two backup quarterbacks, so we don't know exactly what's going to happen there. We were talking about it, Leon, in the pre-show. What's your gut on that game? It's about a 6.5-point line with two backup quarterbacks.
Well, I mean, it's Florida's Super Bowl, quite frankly. And they need to win, because if they win the game, they're bowl bound. Now, as abysmal as that sounds, I mean, that is kind of, as bad as the seasons win. If you're able to take this team to a bowl game,
Right.
I mean, if it feels
It's
a little better.
15 practices, I believe.
Yeah,
that you wouldn't have.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because right now you're in preparation for next year. The season is a wash, but you got Florida State coming in. So, yeah, it gives the coaching staff an opportunity to get more kids to get more reps. And then I'm not sure how well you can use it as a recruiting tool, but if you're in a bowl game and eyes are on you, it's better to be seen than not seen.
Yeah.
To that point about recruiting, what a nice recruiting tool it would be if you say, hey, it doesn't matter that they're a top 5 team in the country. You come to the Swamp at night and look what happens. Magical things.
Yeah.
If the Gators were to pull out a victory. And so, yeah, that's a huge recruiting tool to Billy Napier, especially in light of the decommitments, to say, hey, we're on the come up, and also you get to play with a 12th man behind you in night games like this.
Yeah, what you do is, if you beat Florida State, somehow Florida beats Florida State at the Swamp, whatever. Now you can entice recruits to say, hey, listen, this is about a rebuild. All right, we're not that far off from there. Yeah, I reckon we lost some games here and there, whatever, but if you can bring our program back to prominence, and this is how it started. We beat Florida State in the Swamp. And then you just use that tool and the mechanism to manipulate the minds of the 5- and 4-star recruits that you're trying to get there.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad deal.
Yeah, and honestly, you're a salesman at this point. You're trying to convince them that what you do, whatever you're cooking, that they want a little something of it. And so both sides are trying to prove that, because Mike Norvell, you know what he's going to do? And Seminole fans, let us know what you think about this game, what you think Rodemaker versus Brown is going to turn out to be. But he's going to sell the rest of his team on, yeah, JT has been unbelievable. Jordan Travis has been, at times, the only big piece of this offense, but not this year, not with all the other guys. And look at what Trey Benson has done. If we weren't putting Jordan Travis into this Heisman conversation, Trey Benson might be in the conversation, and then obviously Keon Coleman and Johnny Wilson.
You know, now on the flip side for Florida State, you lose your starting quarterback. Now Norvell's able to go on team meetings and say, it's never really all been about the quarterback. It's been about you playmakers. It's been about you, wide receivers, offensive line, all that kind of stuff. So and we're going up against a state rival who we hate, that we despise. And there's motivation there from Florida State too, and as well as a recruiting tool as well, because Florida State has arrived. They're the number 5 team in the country. They've arrived. They can use that. Now you go down there and beat Florida, and you've already beat Miami. Now you win the state.
Keon
title.
Coleman, by the way, hot take, wide receiver 2. Will be the second wide receiver off the board in April's NFL draft.
Yeah,
wow.
It's funny because a lot of people coming into this season, and I'll give Matt credit for this because people are saying Johnny Wilson's going to be the best receiver. No, Keon Coleman, and he was the one preaching it way before anybody else. And then and Johnny Wilson's going to be a high draft pick, how high is Keon Coleman going to be? I don't know whether Johnny Wilson's going to be a high draft pick, but I can definitely look at Keon Coleman and know.
He'll be top 10.
Oh, well, top 10.
Maybe 12.
Yeah, at least top 12.
Oh, we know Marvin Harrison Jr. is going first.
Yeah.
We know that.
Right,
He's coming
exactly.
off
I think it
first.
depends on how many quarterbacks go, Leon, which I
True.
think is an interesting conversation we could get into today. How many of those quarterbacks are actually going to declare for the NFL draft? Between the Carson Becks, the Riley Leonards, the Shador Sanders, do they go back to school? Do they say, hey, let me elevate my draft stock a little bit more? We know Jalen Milroe will be back at Alabama. Do you want to compete with him as a number 1 overall pick potentially? Is he the number 1 overall pick next year?
Well, I saw Mel Kiper's big board. I think he had about 4 or 5 quarterbacks on there going in the first round. Bo Nix, he had Drake May, he had
Caleb Williams.
Of course. He had J.J. McCarthy.
Penix.
He had Penix. He had Jalen from LSU.
Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, so you're talking about 6 guys and going in the first round.
Where was Tyler Van Dyke?
Home, watching the draft.
Transfer portal.
Real question for you guys, because I've had a couple people ask me this. Does TVD transfer after this season?
I think so.
Who wants him?
They asked him about his future at Miami this week, and he didn't say yes.
Non-committal.
Yeah, non-committal. Perfect
And in
word.
doing so,
Yeah.
does he hope, and now maybe this becomes a blueprint, to be the next Bo Nix?
See, that's what I was just thinking. Now, I will be outraged if he goes to team.
Goes out
If
west.
he goes out west and lights it up, I will be outraged. I'm just telling you.
The only
that
thing you
right
can be thankful for is there's no out west anymore because the Pac-12
Go
is
to
going
Big Ten.
the Pac-12 is going to go away, so you definitely don't have to worry about that. But honestly, Bo Nix had most of the tools. He would just lose on the road. Still had decent stats. I don't know whether Tyler Van Dam can say the same thing.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, I know Jaguar fans are grateful for this. Trevor Lawrence officially named the AFC Offensive Player of the Week
Nice.
after a day in which he had a 75% completion percentage, 262 passing yards, 4 total touchdowns. The other recipients this week, this is a very funny graphic / tweet for me. Trevor Lawrence, Offensive Player of the Week in the AFC. Jalen Ramsey, the defensive player in the AFC for the Miami Dolphins. Brock Purdy, the offensive player of the week in the NFC. So,
Nice.
Jalen's been pretty insane so far
Since
since
he
he's
came
come
back.
You
back.
know what?
Yeah.
He's been active in terms of getting the ball in his hands and it's staying there because he had a couple, one or two that you normally see Jalen make plays, but that ball bounces off of his hands. And they say that's why he was the defensive back from the jump, but he has made some plays.
I saw a
He's playing
stat
hungry,
as
too.
well that I think his passer rating against him is like 0.0 or something this year. Outrageously good.
All right, now I want to make sure that the special teams player of the week next week in the AFC is not Andrew Beck, okay? Just please promise me, okay? Please, Heath Farwell, special teams coach. He could be even carrying a card that says game changer coordinator for all I know. But Heath Farwell, do not let the fullback score on you again. Andrew Beck is the name, Leon.
I remember.
Of the 85-yard kickoff return when they thought they had him down, and then they couldn't keep him down. So we've had 2 fullbacks score against the Jaguars at the bank this year.
Yeah, it was embarrassing.
And a defensive end.
Don't let it happen again.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it was embarrassing. I mean, just poor angles, poor tackling. I mean, come on now. I mean, that was like a streetcar running down the road, but nobody catch him.
No, it was just nuts. It really was. All right, since we brought up Brock Purdy, I'm going to go ahead and throw a couple of bold facts at you this week, this show. So why not do it right now?
Here's a bold fact brought to you by Bold City Brewery, Duval's first craft brewery. Online at boldcitybrewery.com.
I already said the weekend has officially started, so if you're holidaying, head out to Bold City downtown, the production house on Roselle Street in Riverside, or just pick up some Bold City if you're out and about, or you're looking at that tap and you're saying, Dukes, brown ale, might want to try that. Or the Killer Whale, Duval Light, any of them, Mad Manatee and Bold City, both great IPAs. They got them all, so check them out or head down and celebrate a little bit. It's never too early to tell you to pick up gift cards. You can do that as well. So check out Bold City Brewery. All right, so our man Brock Purdy, not yet 24 years of age, all right, about to turn 24, but he is a guy that went and put together an unbelievable game. He had 21 of 25 completions for 84%, 333 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, a 158.3 passer rating. You know what that is, sirs? That is the highest attainable mark, all right? Highest you can get. So, not yet 24. 2 others have done it as well. Recorded a 148.9 passer rating or better. Who else has been able to do it in the NFL?
Before the age of 25.
Before the age of 24.
24.
Yep. Before the age of 24.
El Boogie. He came into the league super young.
I don't know, but passer rating, I'm not sure. El Boogie.
It's not really his thing.
Yeah.
So you're looking at
Herbert.
I'm gonna go with Drew. I'm gonna go Drew Brees.
All right, so you're looking at 2 consecutive games, okay, where it was 148.9 or higher, okay, because that's what Brock Purdy did in back-to-back weeks, week 10, week 11. He had the perfect rating this past week, and then before that, 148.9. So
I'm gonna go Peyton Manning. Why not?
That's a good one.
Patrick Mahomes.
Also a good one.
That's a good one.
I'm going to go Herbert.
2 under the age of 24. Anybody else?
Don't tell me it's C.J. Stroud.
Jake Locker. No.
That's what it makes.
All right, the name has been mentioned, but then they got off of the name.
Oh, Lil Boogie.
Yes.
Dude.
Oh, my God.
Second day in a row.
Yeah, this has happened a couple of times this week. And so Lamar Jackson did it at 22 years of age, so you were certainly on the right trail. And the other one, my man, Mr. Motown,
Goff.
Jared Goff. 23
Yeah.
years, 348 days. So he wasn't that far from turning 24 years of age,
Things
but there
I
are the 2.
never thought I would say. I'm so excited to watch the Lions at 11:45 a.m. on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. It's going to be great. Honestly, we'll look at that lineup tomorrow. College and pro is going to be great. You're looking at, well, you got the Egg Bowl. You got a lot of other big games that are going to be played in the college football world. And it's kind of unfair to ask what the best nickname is in the college football rivalry world because the Egg Bowl doesn't sound too cool, but it's the essence of Mississippi.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, the Iron Bowl sounds pretty
The Iron
cool.
Bowl's
That's pretty special.
Yeah, I would.
Sounds
I always
Good
like.
old-fashioned hate.
Yeah, I always like putting that one up there, but it just doesn't live up.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, you mean Georgia Tech?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
They
clean old-fashioned
usually
hate
suck.
Is just great. But yeah, the game. I guess it made sense back in the day, but
To me, the Civil War. I love it.
Yeah.
And the Red River shootout
yeah,
used to be
what it was.
cool.
Yeah.
Matt was right.
The
by
game,
The way.
I mean, that's badass. The game.
I guess I'm not.
You don't like that?
Yeah, and like I said,
It's
was-
very presumptuous.
It is. I was just thinking that.
Yeah,
Very
they-
presumptuous.
Does the war on I-4
I
not?
think that's the right word.
Does the war on I-4 not do it for you?
Oh, I like
I
that.
always liked
Nah.
it. USF, UCF, I always liked it. For sure.
The
But,
Heroes game.
yeah, there's
That's
a
going to
few
be
of
in
them.
Lincoln with a total of 26 points. I'm sure we'll get to that at some point in today's program.
Well, I looked up, and I want it to be called the Bourbon Bowl.
You've
Kentucky.
been pushing that, and I haven't seen it anywhere.
You know what it is? You know what it is? It's the stinking Governor's Cup.
I know it's lame.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but Tennessee, when they play Tennessee and Kentucky, they got some whiskey
Yeah,
battle.
that is a barrel.
game. Yeah.
Barrel game.
The Civil
Bourbon
War is
versus-
good,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
which
All right.
that will be one of our picks coming up later in this show.
Okay, so we have it organized. Matt has his selection up,
He
right?
does. He sent it to me, and we're going to try to get Campo on the phone.
Okay, and get Coach on the phone.
Because when Matt is gone, he's gone.
Yeah.
He's off the map.
Yeah,
You
he
can't
is.
reach him.
He's off the
I'm
grid.
surprised that he texted me back, actually.
I'm going to tell you already, and I won't give it up. He'll have it for us next week. He already has a horror story.
Already?
About something
far as the
that-
house.
Oh,
Of course
yeah,
he
I'm
does.
sure.
Of course
He,
he does.
he already has a.
He's been gone, what, like 2 hours?
He's so secretive, too.
Yeah, but it's
like,
not-
I asked the most vague, basic question the other day about his Thanksgiving plans, and he was like, he just stared at me and didn't say anything. I'm like, what's wrong? Like, no one's going to, like, sneak attack you.
Yeah.
dude.
He worries.
He does.
He does. All right. So let's just stay on the college football world, and then we'll get into the Jaguars coming up here in just a second. But when you think about FSU Florida, we have already touched on that one. And I keep waiting. I think, Leon, you keep waiting for a little carnage. I don't know that we're going to get it. I don't think Georgia Tech can provide that carnage against Georgia. I don't think Auburn can provide that carnage against Alabama. You can go down the line with some of the other ones.
Well, yeah, I was looking for chaos last week. It was a perfect setup for things to happen, but the waters have settled now. There's a calming of the waters now as far as college football goes because I don't see any potential upsets. In the near future or in the horizons, especially this week. I think that it's going to be pretty predictable, and that's sad. And our college football is about to leave us, and there's no carnage, there's no chaos. That was a little bit last night in the Florida State dropping one.
Yeah, let's hit that because
it was expected though.
Yes.
It was you lose your quarterback. You played Northern Alabama, and Washington goes, and they beat Oregon State on the road, and a torrential storm essentially, and that's a tough task. So I could understand that.
Yeah, I really think it's what Washington did that obviously opened the door up for FSU to be penalized. They're basically being penalized for the Jordan Travis injury.
Yep.
If they win this game against Florida, if they win this game against Louisville, who the heck knows? They do have a lot of other players. I don't know whether they will move them back up because this has been the contention, is that undefeated Power 5 team should be able to get in.
Well, let me ask you this question. If this happens, let me ask you and me this question. Let's say this happens a couple of weeks from now. Let's say Alabama beats Georgia.
Yep.
Okay? Alabama beats Georgia. Florida State wins out, and Oregon beats Washington. Who's your four?
Oh, my gosh.
I
Well,
think-
then what happens with Texas?
Florida State is in. Okay, Florida State is in.
What about Georgia? You're telling me if Georgia loses one game back-to-back, they're out?
How close
No,
was the
I might
game?
put.
It's a close game. Let's say it's 24-20.
Yeah, I might put Alabama and Georgia in there,
So then you would keep
And then-
FSU out.
and then I might go.
You might keep the Pac-12 out?
I might kick if Oregon were to beat
Washington.
Washington. So those are two one-loss teams. Then an unbeaten FSU team would go in my opinion. I don't think you would put the Big 12 team in. You could go two SECs, and then you take Ohio State, Michigan winner.
Even though Texas beat Alabama head-to-head
Right.
in Tuscaloosa,
Also,
they would
Joe-
both have the same record. You
know
would
what
keep
that was?
Texas
Wait,
out.
Joe. So
You know what that was back then?
No, hold on, I'm trying
See,
to-
that's what I'm talking about. That's what I want. I want this. I want carnage.
Joe wants two SEC teams, Florida State
Everybody from the South.
and the Pac-12.
An outsider.
Wait,
That's
I'm
called
like,
Joe
wait a
wants
second.
12
Southern
teams.
Comfort.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
No, I kicked both Pac-12s out.
Oh, so you kicked
Yeah.
the Pac-12
kicked
out. I
the
thought you
Big
said you
12
kept them.
out,
Yeah.
and then I took one from Ohio State, Michigan. And here's the other thing: the Texas over Alabama. I totally get it, but you know who was playing quarterback that day? It was Jalen Ilro. Now it's Jalen Milroe.
Totally different guy.
Okay, totally different.
You
guy.
know what the committee is begging Florida to win, or begging Louisville to win,
yeah, just
so
to
they
clean it
don't
up.
have to make that decision. Here's
know-
my thing: if Florida
you know-
State wins against Florida and they win against the top 10 Louisville, that proves that
can't keep
Tate
them out.
Rodemaker's probably pretty all right,
Yeah.
And the
they're
team
worthy
around
of
the
going in.
quarterback.
And
all the other
honestly,
horses.
even if he played like ass,
Yeah.
and they're undefeated, they deserve to be in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
I agree.
Because
Even
they
if
have
I
more
believe
talent.
they will get smashed in the playoffs,
Let me throw
I don't
something
care. They
else
deserve
at
to
you.
get in.
I know we've been critical at times about the ACC and the schedule that Florida State has played up to this point, but they would have gone undefeated. What's the schedule for Michigan? What's the schedule for Ohio
gosh.
State and the strength of it? Who's to say that if Michigan beats Ohio State, and let's say it's close, and then heaven forbid it's a close Big Ten championship game,
They'll try
certainly Michigan would be undefeated. But in a scenario when you have an undefeated Florida State, an undefeated Washington, an undefeated Michigan, you tell me which of those three teams, and heaven forbid an undefeated Georgia as well, at which point all four of them would just be in. But which of those three teams, if let's say Alabama beats Georgia in Leon's scenario, which of those three teams has actually played the strongest schedule?
Well,
between
here's
Michigan,
why
Washington,
they
and Florida?
Only Washington.
Yeah, but here's why they wouldn't keep Michigan out, because of that win against Ohio State. Like, yes, their schedule is super soft until now. You know, that would be considered maybe the best win of the season by any team.
Yeah, well,
outside of Texas, maybe.
Yeah, because the Texas one, the way Alabama's playing now, they still get credit for that win, and that's the beautiful thing. But if you take a look at what has happened, Michigan, they won their first 9 games by – this is a saucy. They won their first 9 games by an average score of 41-7.
Saucy nugs.
They were smoking people, okay? But then after that, if you take a look, they had a 23-3 lead against Maryland and absolutely blew it, okay? They had to go on a 21-6 run to basically get the lead back, 29-24. So I think they've been stressed because they didn't play anybody for the first 3 months of the season.
They had a bunch of layups until they played Penn State. Absolutely a bunch of layups.
How good is Penn State, really?
Exactly. Now, I mean, offensively, they're atrocious. Defensively, they're pretty solid. But but Michigan did. Listen, anytime you go into a team's house in the second half and you don't throw a pass, and you just run the ball down the throat, that's pretty special.
He had 28 carries, Blake Corum, 94 yards. That was it. And I know because they were trying to kill the clock. I do get it, but still, I wonder. So, if you take a look, and this is nothing new. This is what happens in the Big Ten. Michigan and Ohio State divvy up Big Ten titles. That's what they do. They get together at the beginning of the year and they go, here's the chip. One of us is going to win it. No one else is. So if you go back, the last 6 Big Ten titles, they've split them up. 5 college football playoff appearances between them. Both of them made it last year. And if you take a look at since the start of 2021, this is 2. Michigan and Ohio State combining for 51-3 in Big Ten play. And a couple of those losses, of course, go against the other team. That's they are dominating.
Now, in defense of Florida State, I can't believe I'm about to say this. Miami Hurricane Hall of Famer in defense of Florida State. In defense of Florida State, a lot of those teams in the ACC that they had to play didn't live up to their standards. The Clemsons, the Miamis, the Dukes. I don't know if they played North Carolina. No. But no, they didn't play North Carolina. But the Clemson, the Miami, the Dukes. I mean, they were supposed to be good ranked teams, which would look good on Florida State's resume. But that
Clemson one looks better and better every week.
Yeah.
Everyone talks about that Notre Dame win by Ohio State. Clemson smacked Notre Dame.
They did. They smashed.
You know, so did Louisville. So if Florida State's able to beat Clemson and Louisville, 2 teams that beat Notre Dame, to me that Ohio State win doesn't really mean a lot if it comes down to.
And if you go back and look at the strength of record, and I had it pulled up earlier, but the strength of record for Florida State right now is a respectable number. It's not sitting there way down the line because of how bad the ACC has been. Now this is going back a couple of weeks, but the playoff ranking, strength of schedule, Georgia had the 21st ranked schedule, Ohio State 6th. Okay, so the Buckeyes are being recognized. Michigan 10th, which is just crap. Florida State 13th, Washington 20th, Oregon 12th, Texas 5th. Alabama's strength of schedule 2nd.
But here's another thing. So
surprised by that.
I mean, we had the same conversation with Clemson. When Clemson was dominating the ACC, we thought because their schedule, those teams that they played didn't live up to their standards and their resume looked weak. But when Clemson came into the playoffs, they got 2 natties.
Yeah,
they got 2 natties in this. So I mean, who's to say Florida State? Even though I had to change the name from the Clemson Invitational to the Seminole Invitational.
You might.
I might have to change that
going forward.
Yeah, going forward. So who's to say with Florida State now? They do have a backup quarterback. Who's to say Florida State can't go in there and make something happen?
Yeah, it's true. By the way, my Buckeye bro, C Daddy's already on me. What the heck do you know about the Big Ten? He said, "Let's go Bucks."
You did pick Rutgers last week over Penn State.
Yeah, let's go Bucks. Which
I know I was
sensing it.
I think the top 4 out of 5 teams in college football that have given up the least amount of points this season per game, it's Ohio State, Michigan, Iowa, Penn State.
Yeah.
So to me, it's not because those defenses are so insanely dominant. It's because you guys suck up there. The offenses are terrible.
They run slower up there.
Yes, they do.
I was about to say, here's JJ defending Iowa. Are pigs flying outside? But alas, there was a punchline still to come.
Because honestly, it is pick which eye to stab type of offense.
It's bad.
game.
Dude.
Oh, it's awful.
Do you know
Michigan
honestly,
didn't have to throw the ball against Penn State in the whole second half.
Dude, do you know what the over-under is this week for that Iowa game?
She told me.
26.
26.
And apparently the forecast has shifted. The snow's not coming till Saturday now.
Oh, you know, odds
I might
makers are
take
jumping
the
on
over.
that. It'll go to 28.
I'd rather watch paint
Nebraska
dry.
is favored in that game.
They are by
Shockingly.
2. I know. Obviously, Iowa has already wrapped up the Big Ten West. I don't see a world, though, in which they they just
That's not like
fold it.
Iowa.
Yeah,
to
they don't
not care about
fold it up and don't care and pack it up because they want 10 wins. That would only be the second time under Kirk Ferentz they have 10 wins in the regular season. So, yeah, that line was weird for me, but there's a couple other that are also kind of trippy, and I know Matt Hayes hinted at them yesterday, so I do want to do a couple of those college football lines,
Yep,
too.
we're going to say hello to Irish FL, warchant.com, talk Seminole ball with him. We'll definitely be on your Jags throughout the day today, high school football later. Say thanks to the Golf Club of Southampton. Don't forget, if you are thinking about hooking somebody up when it comes to gift cards, whatever, if you're taking somebody out for a long Thanksgiving Day weekend, make sure you call 287-PLAY. Get on the tee sheet, the Golf Club of Southampton. And don't forget, Friday night on the patio, always fun, and that'd be a great way to, break away from that big belly that you got sitting in the lazy boy. Head on out to the Golf Club of Southampton and enjoy a little Friday night under the lights listening to music on the patio.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers.
Calvin played extremely well today.
Caught for the touchdown in the left corner of the end zone, Calvin Ridley.
We get the right look, the right situation for certain plays. You know that he can really take advantage of them. I don't think we talk enough about the defense.
The ball came out and the Jags have it.
They're the ones that have kept us in the majority of our football games this season. We've been good at responding, and we got to keep doing that. That's what the good teams do.
Next up, it's a division rival on the road.
We're in a great spot.
Jaguars, Texans.
Sitting at 7-3.
Sunday at 1 on the home of the Jaguars. 1010XL.
The Internal Revenue Service is reported to be receiving $80 billion in additional funding for the 2022 tax year for unpaid tax enforcement. There has never been a budget increase this large in the history of the IRS. All of this funding is for more revenue officers and collecting delinquent taxes. If you owe the IRS, you have a short time to get your tax issues resolved or face financial devastation. J. David Tax Law is right here in Jacksonville and provides tax relief for all personal, payroll, and sales tax problems. They've achieved thousands of successful outcomes for their clients, and that's why their reputation speaks for itself. If you have federal or state sales tax debt, do your research to see why J. David Tax Law is the most effective option to relieve your tax burden. Call J. David Tax Law at 904-507-4777. That's 904-507-4777 or at jdavidtaxlaw.com.
Did you know the 2023 Honda CR-V Hybrid never needs to be plugged in? The onboard system charges the batteries for you. When you think Honda, think hybrid. Good for the environment, great for your budget. Visit your local Honda dealer to experience the CR-V of the future today.
Now, the Hurricane Report. Brought to you by Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
The Miami Hurricanes dropped another close one on Saturday, this time to number 9 Louisville, 38-31. Surprisingly, Miami got a great performance out of quarterback Tyler Van Dyke, who threw for 327 yards and a touchdown. But the real star of the game for Miami was freshman running back Mark Fletcher Jr., who had 17 carries for 126 yards and a career-high 2 touchdowns. Miami ends the season this Friday at noon at Boston College.
This is Hayes Carline for Island Wing Company, located on Southside near Tinseltown, and our new location at Bartram Park in St. Johns County. 2 great locations offering the ultimate sports bar experience where you can stick to healthy options. Island Wing Company has a wide selection of fryer-free food. The wings are baked, not fried, with so many awesome flavors to choose from. You can also get delicious salmon, tuna, flatbreads, and tacos. With tons of spectacular TVs, dog-friendly patios, and 2 daily happy hours, Island Wings can't be beat.
It's a primetime showdown you don't want to miss when your Jaguars take on the Bengals. This highly anticipated Monday night matchup is also our My Cause, My Cleats game, when your favorite players get to champion causes close to their hearts by wearing custom-designed cleats. Plus, don't forget to wear your darkest gear to help us black out the stands and defend the bank. A limited number of seats do remain, so head to Jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000.
Winter in Jacksonville is mild, but you still want your furnace or heat pump at its best.
Imagine a cold home when your heater isn't up to the task. Don't be left in the cold.
Call Duck Duck Air Conditioning, your go-to mechanical contractor for top-notch HVAC services across Northeast Florida.
Let us keep you warm and cozy. Contact Duck Duck Air Conditioning at 904-862-6769.
Duck Duck Air Conditioning, your comfort is our priority. 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckac.com.
Dr. Kevin Murphy, spotlighting the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Tyra Pierce, senior volleyball, soccer, and flag football player at Ed White High. Tyra is a member of the National Honor Society and volunteers at the Boys and Girls Club. Congratulations, Tyra.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Want even more excitement on game day? Then test your skills at PrizePicks, the best way to win big on fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick their projection for a wide variety of statistics, and place your entry. Simple. You can turn $10 into $250 just like that. I've got Kevin Durant scoring less than 31.5 points against San Antonio and Tua Tagovailoa passing for less than 286.5 yards against Kansas City. Now listen to this. PrizePicks is the only daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy, keeping you in the game even if one of your players goes down. Sweat it out, watch your entries in real time, and continue the fun by making picks on second half and fourth quarter stats. Take your game day experience to the next level with PrizePicks. And right now, when you go to PrizePicks.com/1010XL and use the promo code 1010XL, PrizePicks will match your first deposit up to $100. That's right, $100. PrizePicks, daily fantasy sports made easy.
I'm Tom Coughlin, founder of the J-Fund Foundation, helping local families tackle childhood cancer since 1996. Every year we ask for your help, and every year you come through.
And I'm Dan Hicken. We're asking you to please be there November 29th for the J-Fund Radiothon here on 1010XL.
If you're on Coughlin time, you can make your donation now.
Text GOAL to 243-725.
Thank you for choosing to be there for Jacksonville area families tackling childhood cancer on 1010XL.
The holiday season means something different to every individual. For many, it's a chance to enjoy the goodness of the human spirit. And at Famous Automotive and Tire Centers, it's all that. And one extra, comfort. The comfort to know that when they work on your vehicle, they've done their absolute best. And that means no matter where you go this holiday season, you'll drive safe and sound. Next time, visit Famous Automotive and Tire Centers. 7 locations servicing every customer like they're famous.
Bob Arablo here, president of Your Jacksonville Iceman. Thanks to the doctors and staff at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, our team is well taken care of. We're proud to be associated with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy. Our team at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists is ready to help you too. We'd like to thank the coaches and schools who trust in our team at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson had injury updates this morning on Tyson Campbell and Devon Hamilton.
Tyson, he'll get some work in this week, see where he's at, kind of day to day, feeling better. Devon, same thing. We're just going to keep working him and getting him some, more, practice reps, make sure he's, feeling good and maintaining kind of his strength and getting all that back.
Campbell, the Jaguars' #1 cornerback, has been sidelined 3 of the last 4 weeks with a hamstring injury, while Hamilton is rounding back into form after a lengthy stint on the non-football injury list. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Grilling Up Lunch with Leon and the Sausage Dudes. Sausage with a purpose on 1010XL.
Quick bit of housekeeping before we get ready to say hello to Ira Schafel and talk some Florida State Seminoles, their chances against the Gators. 6.5-point favorites as of this writing, according to my friends over at MyBookie. Speaking of my friends, I want to shout out our Nooners that are making reservations this Thanksgiving weekend at 1912 Ocean Bar, the all-new property by Sawgrass Marriott and Spa. Love to see it. We're very excited to be partnering with them, so appreciate you guys checking them out this weekend while you are enjoying your holiday. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention Josie and Leon and JJ LaSelva. We are 1 week out from the 16th annual Tom Coughlin J Fund.
Yeah, Giving Tuesday.
Radiothon.
Yeah, it's November 30th. It's the day after Giving Tuesday.
The 29th.
Right. Yeah.
The 29th is Radiothon.
Yeah.
So a week from today, since today's the 22nd. So
yeah.
Next Wednesday from 7 until all the way through Hackers programming from 8 to 10. I actually just got the official schedule. We will have guests from the TCJ Fund, and we're excited to, of course, be helping those families tackle childhood cancer. If you're interested in helping those families right now, we have the links all over our social media channels. You can give online. You can text the word GOAL, and that number, I want to make sure that I get it for you guys correctly here, is
I want to make sure that if they do give
between noon and 3.
Noon and 3 on
also
XLP. That'll be our chant. Give between noon and 3 on XLP. Give between noon and 3 on XLP.
243
next
243-725. But wait, because we want you to give between 12 and 3 because we are a little competitive.
Because we have no shame.
But you know, if you're looking at like, all right, my payday is on this day. I don't know. People's offices are different, and you want to give ahead of time. Obviously, every gift counts. We appreciate you guys teaming up with us and teaming up with the J Fund.
Yeah, exactly, and it means things right here in Duval, right here. It does not go anywhere else, and I think they usually range about 96 out of every $100 is going straight to these families.
And we're actually up to, which is awful, we're up to about 100 children that are diagnosed each year with childhood cancer in Northeast Florida alone.
Yeah, it's something else. As we get ready for Ira Schafel, just a quick thought. We'll be looking at the injury report later on. You'll be heading down to the locker room later on with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Talked to Houston Radio earlier today, and they're feeling it, Leon. Okay, they're a confident bunch right now because of the win streak that they've been on and the fact that they are right now within a game. I don't think too many people would have predicted Houston would be in within a game of the AFC South lead, and yet that's where we are.
I mean, well, it's too early to be celebrating. I mean, they're still a game behind. And I was talking about this to Hackers earlier this morning, is that this is a big game. Whether they want to look at it as a big game or not, here in Jacksonville, we're looking at it as a big game because, you know, this is our opportunity to seize the South. That's what it's about, seizing the South. And quite frankly, the Houston Texans haven't been in any big games in a very, very, very meaningful games in a very, very long time. And that might be to our advantage. I mean, we've been in the playoffs. We had that six game, all that kind of stuff. I mean, literally, we had one and dones all last year.
Yeah.
To make the playoffs, basically. I mean, if we lose, who's to say we make the playoffs? So that run we had to win those games. So, but you know, that doesn't give us. I think that gives us a clear-cut advantage in the game. But you know, they're probably too young to understand it. And sometimes when they don't understand that this division is ours, they'll go out and just play like they got nothing to lose. So that's what the Jaguars have to be concerned with. But the thing is, I think also that's going to help us is that you know we had a small sample size of C.J. Stroud when we played us. He lit us up. Yeah, you know, now teams have got more film on him, you know, picking up on some of his tendencies and what he does and his progressions and all the other kind of stuff. So that might be to our advantage moving forward that we got more film on it.
Yeah, hence the picks last week.
Yeah.
And I also think last week they did not score in the second half. Those 3 picks came in the second. Well, one of them came in the first half. 2 came in the second half. As much as, yes, you escaped the clutches of the Arizona Cardinals with a victory, I mean, if you're Houston, you're like, all right, cool, we're moving on. But you have to wonder, like,
well, I do think.
Are you playing with fire a little bit?
Yeah, I do. And look, Trevor had a messy game 2 Sundays ago. Cleaned it up. Instead of giving up the ball 4 times, the team giving up the ball 4 times, he was able to score 4 times. So, yeah, it's all about that, making sure that you're peaking at the right time. And this defense and what Mike Caldwell will draw up, I think, may be able to get to C.J. Stroud.
Let's ring up another guest on the All-Pro Roofing phone line.
So we're going to keep talking Jaguars throughout the day, but let's focus in on the Sunshine State Showdown, the battle for the oar, whatever they're calling it. Ira Schafel may know, he of warchant.com. Ira, is it for the oar? I'm not even quite sure.
I don't. You tell me. I'm not sure either.
I know this much. Tate Rodemaker and Max Brown were two names that I don't think you, me, or too many people would have been expecting both of them to be playing in this rivalry game. Let's start with it was just horrific to see that injury with Jordan Travis. Give us the latest on that.
Yeah, and Jordan actually came to practice today for the first time since his injury. He came in a golf cart. And it was kind of subdued, like he stayed in the background. He just kind of observed. He actually he took the script at one point and was following along with practice. And, a few players, nodded to him or went over and said hi to him, but it wasn't like he was the center of practice or anything. But, I think it was definitely traumatic at the time. I think for obviously him and his college career being over, but the team, the fans, just people that have followed this program, to see a guy like that's been so integral to their success and then just have such a gruesome injury. But I think at this point now, I think the team today felt more normal at practice. Yesterday I thought was a little sluggish early. Mm-hmm. It got better as the day went on, but today it felt like more of a normal practice. Again, still not totally normal because Tate Rodemaker is not Jordan Travis. But I think they're trying to kind of get back on track because obviously a huge game on Saturday.
Now, Ira, for years now, I've called the ACC the Clemson Invitational. So now that y'all dominated it for 1 year, I might have to change the name to the Seminole Invitational. And I think y'all moving from 4 to 5, in defense to Florida State. Quite frankly, the teams that they played during this year, the Miami, the Clemsons, the Dukes, they didn't live up to their expectations. So when the committee's looking at Florida State and their schedule, if any of those teams live up to the billing of what they were supposed to be this season, I think Florida State resume looks quite good.
Yeah, it's really something we never expected before the season. We thought, if they beat LSU and Clemson and Miami and Florida, nobody could say anything. They'll definitely be in. But like you said, the season's gone different. When they played LSU was undefeated, obviously number 5 in the country. They've had a couple other losses against great teams, though. Their other losses, I think, are both on the road against Alabama and Ole Miss, so it's not like they're losing to just anybody. And then, Miami, has kind of, lost some games they shouldn't have lost. I think they're a better team than their record says. And then, obviously, Clemson, you would never look at that team and think that they're going to have, 4 losses. So it's kind of, the resume is taking a hit. I still think, and I think Florida State, the coaches and staff, I think they feel like, if they can still win these last 2 games without Rodemaker, without Jordan Travis, if you could beat Florida at Florida and beat Louisville in the championship game of the ACC and still be undefeated, they feel pretty confident they're still going to get in the playoff because at that point, obviously, Ohio State, Michigan, one of them will have a loss as well.
Ira Schafel, our guest on the All Pro Roofing Hotline. You can check out his stuff at warchant.com. Ira, let's give our nooners, our listeners, more of a in-depth look and an in-depth idea of who Tate Rodemaker is. We know he was Mike Norvell's hand-picked first recruit when he first took the Florida State job. We know he's been in the program now for 4 years. Arm strength-wise, is he comparable to Jordan Travis? We obviously know the mobility isn't quite the same. How would you describe the Seminoles' new QB1?
Very different than Jordan Travis. Tate Rodemaker's best quality is that arm. He has an NFL arm. You saw 1 or 2 of the throws he made when he came on last week against North Alabama, where he's on the far hash throwing to the other sideline, and he gets it there quickly. It gets on the receivers and tight ends in a hurry. In fact, I think 1 or 2 of the drop passes in that game were a result of guys not realizing how quick that ball was going to get on him. So he has a big-time arm. The big knock on on Tate Rodemaker since he's been at Florida State has been taking care of the football. He's had, he's one of those guys that I wouldn't say he's a gunslinger, but he sometimes doesn't realize it's time to throw the ball away and live to play another down. So that to me is going to be the big focus for Florida State this week, is making sure that, he just doesn't feel like he has to be the hero and make a lot of huge plays. He can make all the throws. The decision-making is going to be what I think Florida State's coaches are most focused on.
We're talking with Ira Schoffel. You can definitely check out warchant.com. Find him on social at Ira Schoffel. And we mentioned this earlier, and I know you know this, but when you're looking at this matchup, as much as Jordan Travis did, there's so many other big pieces. And I would think if you kind of maybe manage the script with Rodemaker, like you're describing, without taking too many chances, Trey Benson and company, there's a lot of skilled talent over there that they could live off of Saturday night.
Yeah, there really is. I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, I think if you look at it on paper, if Tate doesn't just make a lot of mistakes, I mean, I think Florida State in the battle of backup quarterbacks, I think they come out better. They're going up against, again, like you said, Florida State's got a lot of really good weapons. Tate Rodemaker's got a big arm. They're going up against a Florida defense that really has struggled all year. On the other side of the ball, Florida gets a backup quarterback who's athletic and maybe can make some plays with his legs. But he's going up against a pretty solid Florida State defense. It's not, one of the best 2 or 3 defenses in the country, but it's a very good college defense. So that guy's going to be making his first start against a good defense. Tate Rodemaker is going to be he's played in 20 games in college football, only his second start, but against a weaker defense. So I think all things being equal, I like Florida State's chances. The only issue is the game's in the swamp. It's going to be crazy loud. Florida's going to be inspired because this is a chance to kind of make their season. And, you do have a quarterback who can make some mistakes. So to me, Florida's path to victory is they've got to create some turnovers at the hand of Tate Rodemaker. If they do that, I think it could be a really good game, and maybe they knock them off.
Now, Ira, was that a safety?
I think if you gave Mike Norvell some truth serum, he might tell you it was safety.
Okay, I just want to hear you say that. Now going into this game against Florida, I mean, are you concerned that sometimes Florida State plays with their food when they should eat it? Because in the last couple of games against Miami, against a true freshman, they were in the game early on and then later in the third quarter. And then you go up against a North Alabama team and you're down 13-0. Now, as traumatic as that injury was to Jordan Travis, does this wake them up and say, hey, listen, we got to play our best ball moving forward if we want to go to where we need to go?
You definitely hope so. I was talking to a parent of one of the players on the team this week, and actually on Sunday, and that was actually what he said. He said he felt like for the last 3 weeks that the team has been pretty flat, and he thinks this will kind of get them going. I think it's a challenge, and the one thing that I've always the one reason I'm excited about the college playoff expanding to 12 games, and I didn't like the fact that it was always just you lose one game and you might be out, is it is hard to bring it every single week, and I think this team had some real emotional games earlier in the year. Again, LSU, Clemson, Duke, Miami, and then so I wasn't surprised they came out really flat against North Alabama. But that has been a theme for this team. This team has not really put a lot of teams away, and maybe this is a spark they need, or maybe that's just this personality of this team. We'll see on Saturday because they're going to have to rally around that kid to give him a chance because again, that's going to be a tall task making his first real big start on the road in the swamp.
I feel like I ask you about the defense every week we have you on, Ira, but it is a defense that coming into the season, as much as Jordan Travis and Johnny Wilson and Trey Benson had so much preseason hype, we expected big things from Jared Verse and that defensive front. As we approach the finale of the regular season, where would you put them in terms of preseason expectations, their actual ceiling, and where they've performed up to this point?
I think they've been solid, but they haven't been great. But part of me thinks it's a little bit of scheme, and a part of it is a little bit about the teams they've played. They've played some teams with pretty mobile quarterbacks, and I think that has led them to maybe not charge upfield as much with the defensive front and just unleash them. I think they've played a little bit more, maybe read and react a little bit against some of those mobile quarterbacks. But I also think, they haven't met the expectations. Part of it, you look at Jared Verse, part of it is he gets a lot of attention, as all great pass rushers do, but you still have to produce. And so, he gets chipped a lot. I've seen him get triple teams. So, he's had to deal with a lot. But at the end of the day, you do have to get production. So I don't think he's thrilled with his season by any stretch. And overall, as a defense, it's been just solid. It's been like they don't really give up a ton of big plays. They keep most everything in front of them, and they tackle pretty well. So it's not an incredible defense, but I think they're solid and they give them a chance to win every week.
All right, so let's finish up with what will the outcry be from Seminole Nation as we laid it out earlier. The college football playoff rankings come out, and let's just say there is a scenario where a Washington remains unbeaten and Alabama knocks off Georgia. Meanwhile, a Jordan Travis-less FSU team is able to beat Florida and Louisville. What is the outcry going to be if they're unbeaten and being wedged out of the Final Four?
The only scenario where I see that possibly happen, and I could see it possibly happening, is if Florida State wins these next 2 games but just doesn't look good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe both of these games are ugly games, and it's just a matter of they were a little bit better than Florida. They were a little bit better, and they say Louisville loses to Kentucky, and then that win is not really impressive. I could see that being the case, and if it happens, I mean, Florida State fans will be mad, but I think some of us would understand it. If Florida State wins these 2 games and looks decent doing it, then yeah, it would be an uproar. I mean, I think we'd be marching on. I don't know where the College Football Committee actually meets. I don't know if they disclose the location, but I think Florida State fans will be marching on the location because you're undefeated. You'd be an undefeated Power 5 champion, and then you won a couple games away from home with a backup quarterback. It feels like that should be rewarded, not penalized. So hopefully that doesn't happen.
I can hear that being the war chant right there on warchant.com.
I think they also meet in Fort Worth or Dallas, somewhere by the airport in Texas, somewhere in the heart of Texas, Ira. I'm letting the Knowles fans know.
Thanks for the information. We appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, man. Listen, have a happy Thanksgiving. Best side for you, Ira. What's your favorite side?
My wife makes – I got to give my wife the compliment, right? My wife makes corn – it's called corn souffle.
Yeah.
And it's like a corn dish with – it's incredible. Some people call it corn pudding, I think, but it's on the money every time. And every year she'll ask me, should I make the corn souffle? And I'm just like, what are you kidding?
Yeah.
Lauren Brooks is making a spinach souffle. So apparently souffles that's the new in thing. I love it.
All right. Listen, happy Thanksgiving, Ira. Always appreciate your time.
You too, guys. Take care.
All right. So you can go to warchant.com and check him out, managing editor. Throw some sides at us. Let us know what that favorite side is. Leon, what is your favorite?
Fried corn.
Oh.
With a little bacon.
Mm-hmm. Talk to me. Yes.
Fried corn.
I do like that.
We need to take a break, but when we come back, Leon is going to be making a pilgrimage to one of our favorite reoccurring character on XL Primetime's house for Thanksgiving.
Aunties.
So we need to get the full spread from Auntie. We need to run through your favorite Thanksgiving side dishes. Again, hit us up at 641-1010 with what's your favorite, what's your least favorite, maybe even a little Mount Rushmore power rankings. We are going to, since we gave our rankings, our power rankings for the NFL and college football yesterday, we are going to hit our picks as well coming up in the 1 o'clock hour. Coach Campo going to call in. Matt Hayes off today, but we do have his picks. Again, some very interesting lines on the college football front for rivalry weekend. Where do we stand? We'll get to that and a whole lot more coming up on a Golf Club of Southampton Wednesday right here on XL Primetime.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. Bold picks and safe picks.
The bold strategy. Let's see if it pays off for them.
Listen for the Otterson Wealth Advisors risk-reward picks of the week all day Friday on 1010XL. Otterson Wealth Advisors. Your goals, our expertise.
Do you really want to spend your Black Friday savings on a blender? Heck no. You want to spend it on a new ride, and that means you've got to get to Arlington Toyota's Black Friday savings event. The sales department will be open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. on Black Friday at Arlington, and you can get financing as low as 2.99% on 10 new Toyota models. Camrys, Corollas, RAV4s, Tacomas, you name it, Arlington has it, with more than 500 new Toyotas available. Plus, every new Toyota purchase comes with Arlington's lifetime warranty. That's unlimited time and miles. Even Arlington's service department is in on the Black Friday frenzy with 20% off any service between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. on Black Friday. Go to arlingtontoyota.com to book your Black Friday service today before they fill up. Save that blender for Santa and spend your Black Friday on big savings at Arlington Toyota. In person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com.
Let's fire up the flavor and ignite those appetites. Let's slow down and smell the barbecue. Because all your favorites are smoked for hours and ready for eating when you are. From our famous ribs to slow smoked pork. Enjoy some perfection by the plateful, safely in our dining room or in the comfort of your home. With curbside pickup, drive-through, and delivery. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
We have a personal relationship with our cars. We sing together, we commute together, we even road trip together. It's a beautiful thing. That's why Ratify Credit Union offers a relationship discount program, so you can earn extra rate discounts on your auto loan. Plus, with an affordable auto loan from Ratify, you always get flexible repayment options to help get you and your car on the road. Get matched with the perfect auto loan at ratifycu.org. Ratify Credit Union. Make waves. Insured by NCUA. Equal Opportunity Lender.
Family and friends coming over for Thanksgiving, but the house is a mess? That's why First Coast Home Pros is here. Let their maid services keep your home spotless for the holidays. You're a great host. Let's keep it that way. FirstCoastHomePros.com.
Toilet or shower not draining? Water bill high? So many issues you want to cry? Call Mr. Rooter of Jacksonville. Have your number 2 business serviced by your number 1 plumber. Let us do your dirty work. Call us today. Mr. Rooter, Mr. Rooter.
Men, are you suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE? The medical providers at Prime Men's Medical Center offer breakthrough treatments that eliminate problems in the bedroom without pain or surgery. 98% of men see instant results on their first office visit. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Prime Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Men are even lasting 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
But that's not all. For a limited time only, call Prime Men's Medical Center now, and your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. You'll see instant results right in the office. You'll even get a gift that enhances your performance in the bedroom. All this, worth hundreds of dollars, is free if you call now. 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, poker fans. Catch all the action at Best Bet. With over $690,000 in poker promotions paid out this month, there is no better time than now to head to the poker rooms. November highlights include the $300 St. Augustine Championship with a $30,000 guarantee at Best Bet St. Augustine, high hand promotions at all locations, and holiday high hams at Jacksonville all month long. For all the details, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Visionaries, builders, and doers, are you ready to change the world? Miller Electric is your opportunity to shape the future. Miller Electric is leading the charge in electric vehicle technology with our state-of-the-art EV Innovation Design Center. We're working to create a sustainable future. We're also the proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, powering their performance at the brand new Miller Electric Center. Miller Electric, we provide competitive pay, unbeatable benefits. Apply today. MillerCareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
It's Thanksgiving week, and Monahan Jewelers has the best deals in town with up to 40% off the entire store. Thousands of beautiful pieces are on sale with fantastic prices on our entire inventory, including up to 30% off on GIA certified diamonds. We're your local family jeweler, so come visit us today and on Small Business Saturday for up to 40% off on diamond studs, engagement rings, colored gemstones, our designer brands, custom design, everything. The name you can trust in fine jewelry, Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
David here with Royal Pest Services. The cool down is coming, and with that comes the pesky rodent. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule a complimentary roof and attic inspection to check for access points and any evidence of previous activity. Now offering military and first responder discounts.
The best golfing weather is upon us, and Hidden Hills Golf Club invites you to enjoy your round of golf with us. Our warm and welcoming atmosphere and spectacular golf course keeps our customers coming back. Check us out at hiddenhillsgc.com. You'll be glad you did.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. The Bolles Bulldogs are one game away from yet another Final Four. Bolles will travel to Orlando to play Bishop Moore in the regional finals. Bolles head coach Matt Toblin on the matchup against Bishop Moore.
So we actually played them last year in the playoffs as well, and that they are an extremely well-coached physical football team out of Orlando. They have a history with bowls. I think before I got here that they had played a couple times in the regular season. Their coach does a great job. They're going to be physical. They're big up front on both sides of the ball. It'll present a completely different kind of challenge, but a challenge nonetheless.
Bowls at Bishop Moore in the regional finals. Friday night at 7 o'clock on 92.5 FM. It's 71 degrees at 1 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
We got a couple of you on the text line, a couple on the YouTube chat as well, sounding off with your favorite Thanksgiving side on a golf club of Southampton Wednesday right here on XL Primetime. 1 day closer to a 4-day holiday weekend and Leon's big trip to visit Auntie, our favorite.
Yeah, I reached out to Auntie. I just texted her and told her to, give me a breakdown, a list of things that she's cooking. So I'm waiting for the text. So
You know what? The first part of the text would be, "Oh, baby."
Oh, yeah, of course. That's always the first thing. So, oh, baby, I got you.
What traditionally is Auntie's go-to?
Her her go-to, ham and turkey. Ham, turkey. Yeah, ham, turkey. Listen, she'll cook fish too. She'll cook a little seafood with Thanksgiving. And then, she got a little crab broil too. So she gives you options.
Okay.
You get the ham, the turkey, you get the crab legs and shrimp together.
Oh my God.
How many people?
Usually somewhere between 10 to 12.
Okay.
So she's not cooking everything.
No.
People are like, what are you bringing? You just bring yourself.
Me.
Yeah.
The big fella.
Big smile and an appetite.
How does she do
See, when you're the first grandchild, which I am, you tend to be spoiled.
I feel that.
That's the way to go.
See, I
know
used
that
to
life.
just be the show up guy. I'd have like beer.
Yeah,
But now that I'm married, both families this year have told us, not asked, told us to make stuff.
Yeah,
And it's like, I went 33 years without making anything.
Oh, yeah. It's time to step up, bro.
Now you suddenly
And
know
I did.
how to cook because you have a wife.
It's crazy.
Now you can cook.
Spring cranberry sauce.
Yeah.
Bring the can.
Like a can of gravy.
Well, some of our nooners, and I
can
brought
walk
this
in
up
with
on
it.
Helmets and Heels last night. I'm curious what Auntie does, Leon. I love the Ocean Spray canned cranberry, and maybe it's because I don't eat a lot of fruit, and so my parents would feed it to me year round as a kid because
always
they're like,
liked
"Oh,
it.
let's get her some sort of vitamin C."
If you could slice it up, I don't mind
We
it
got
at
some
all.
haters on
I'm
the
not a
text
fan.
line, though.
I'm not a fan of
Leon's
cranberry
in?
sauce. I'm not a fan of cranberry
Oh, really?
sauce. No, I'm not a fan.
I don't load up on it, but I do like seeing it. It's the only time I'm ever really going to eat
I mean,
it.
would you eat it where it goes with everything? Is that what you're saying? Do you
Well,
like cut a slice?
Yeah.
Is it next to your stuffing, your turkey? You might
just-
scoop a little together, maybe something like that.
My mom used to do it like we'd get like a pie knife,
Mm-hmm.
but that's how we would slice out of the can, and then you just plop it next to whatever your meat is.
All right, so on the text line, green bean casserole definitely has been brought up. Cranberries, the wife's real cranberry sauce, so that's good. And sweet potato pie crunch. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it
Now,
does.
we just
no one said the number one thing.
Yeah.
It's dressing.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
I
I
agree
said
with
I call it
that.
stuffing.
Thank you.
Whatever you call
Yeah,
it.
dressing, stuffing,
Yeah,
doesn't
dressing
matter.
stuff, it doesn't matter.
But
I agree.
put a little spice in it, a little heat in it, which I love. A little daddle
yes.
pepper. My grandmother would always have a little daddle pepper in there, and it was just awesome. But TLD will put a little sausage in there, and then also a little
my
spice.
You know what's underrated for Thanksgiving?
Mhm.
Deviled eggs.
Which I have some in
They're
the
underrated
fridge
because
right
after
now.
you've had that full meal
yeah.
and you want a little snack right before the game, about 4 or 5
yeah, and
double
JJ,
eggs.
that
is
should be
perfect.
I have award-winning deviled eggs in
Yeah,
the
you
fridge
do,
right
absolutely.
now.
The video is now live, by the way.
Oh, my God,
If you
good.
wanted to see the Thanksgiving cook-off from 1010XL, it is officially live in the spirit of the holidays on all of our social channels.
Well, you should probably make that your staple every single year. That way,
I guess it's got to be.
Yeah,
I
you
want an
know what
award.
you know what you're bringing. They call him Joe Bro, the son-in-law. He is in charge of deviled eggs at our house, so he makes those and has his little magic recipe. And then crab was so expensive. TLD, she kind of got cheap on me, and we quit making the crab app, which is just an unbelievable.
Is it
you
like
know,
dip?
Oh yeah,
I
it's
love a
just
good
it's
crab
so
dip.
good.
Do you like
So it's
stuffed
back this
mushrooms
year,
with
so.
crab? I had a couple of the crab stuffed mushrooms.
Yeah.
Had
Oh,
some
yeah,
of those
are
on
great.
Monday.
I love stuffed mushrooms.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what the stuff was.
Any of that is good enough. And by the way, Big Vic and I will warm up the grease. My grease and his grease will collide, and we'll drop a bird in both of them tomorrow. And it'll be our annual Thanksgiving morning with a toast and some turkey being fried.
How does Auntie real quick do her potatoes? I was wondering. What's the preferred?
She does yams.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sweet potato?
Yeah, she
Gross.
does sweet potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, Joe, it's never too early to have a toast on
You know what that comes
Thanksgiving.
along with when that turkey goes down. There's a toast going down
Could
too.
be
You know
8:30.
that.
Doesn't matter.
That definitely will happen. That's for sure. All right, so keep it coming.
If
Let
you're
us know.
not half drunkenly passed out by the halftime of the Lions game, then you're not doing it right.
But exactly. There are 3 football games on. There's no
I
way
need to
I'm
get
gonna
a nap
make it.
in.
And they're actually pretty good. I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh,
I know we
yeah.
want to get to the Jags, but like looking at this slate,
They've cleaned it up.
Let's begin with the Packers and the Lions. That'll be your first game of the day on Thanksgiving. Then the Cowboys and the Commanders, which JJ was surprised. Maybe some of you Nooners will be too by this saucy nug. The Cowboys have lost 10 of the last 11 Thanksgiving games that they have played.
Saucy nugs.
Niners
Cowboys
and
have lost
Seahawks are
10
the
of the
nightcaps.
last
I'm shocked
11?
by that.
I saw it floating around the internet.
Wow.
I am surprised by that.
I mean, and you said Lions and Packers.
Lions and Packers are the noon. Yes.
Yeah. In what dimension do we live in where the Lions are relevant and the Packers are struggling? Because in the past it's always been the opposite.
Yeah,
a terrible Lions team will play a Green Bay Aaron Rodgers team for Thanksgiving.
That is true.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that Dallas had done that. Now, Detroit definitely is dominating, so this is an important one for them. The fact that Jordan Love and them were able to come back and beat L.A. this past week was a big thing for them, and we'll find out, what they look like going into Detroit with the way the Lions was able to take care of business at the end of that game, scoring 8 to win that bad boy.
Yeah.
By a field
Any
goal.
other time, any other Lions team would have lost that game.
Yeah, they would have.
Yeah,
That
they would've
Cowboy
found a way.
stat's wrong.
It is?
Yeah.
No, I was hoping it was
I
right.
knew it was crazy.
I'm trying to
It's
remember.
floating
I mean,
around
they've
somewhere.
lost a lot, but I feel like they win. I'm looking at it right now. They win it like every other year. They won last year. They lost in 2021, but they lost in 2019. But they won in 2018 against the Redskins. They won in 2016.
So it's basically every other year.
Yeah. They've definitely lost more than they've won recently.
Yeah.
That's for damn sure. But they've won a few times.
Yeah, and it's not, you're looking at it every single year. It's not like home and away or anything like that. It flat out is have you
always at home
every single time it's at home, and they got
Jaguars
it made.
remain the only franchise to have never played on Thanksgiving.
I was just thinking that.
like that.
I was just thinking that. I was thinking out there with my whole career. I can't remember ever playing on the holidays,
I don't believe
especially
you did
Thanksgiving.
you?
No, we never did. But look, the Jaguars technically they're got 2 holiday games. They've got Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve.
Yeah, I can't wait to
Yeah.
work Christmas Eve.
And New Year's Eve.
All right, I tell you what. Just for the heck of this, how about another bold fact as we're talking a little bit of college ball and the NFL and Thanksgiving and all that stuff?
Here's a bold fact brought to you by Bold City Brewery, Duval's first craft brewery. Online at boldcitybrewery.com.
Bringing the bold facts today, and this is courtesy of my man Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South. I can't steal it. Auburn, Alabama, the Iron Bowl. When is the last time Alabama won a 60-minute ball game at Jordan-Hare?
A non-overtime game.
When is the last time Alabama won a 60-minute ball game at Jordan-Hare?
By the way, that Cowboy stat was against the spread, Mia.
Okay, so that's what it was.
So are we going back
1 and 10.
before the kick 6?
Yeah, so the kick 6 was what, 2016?
16,
That's what I thought. So maybe 2015? They won the Natty in 2015.
Well, it would have to be 2 years before the kick 6.
Oh, true. So 20.
When did Nick?
2014, because that would have been, yeah.
When was Nick's first year there?
Oh, 2008, 9.
9?
Yeah.
Like 8. He might have even been there in 5.
I'm gonna say
Has it been that long for Alabama to win there?
I'm going to say 2014.
I'll go with that.
I go
pre-kick 6.
All right, so just going in reverse order, okay? Last year it was in T-Town. They won 49-27. In 2021, it was a 4 overtime game. 4 overtimes, and the Tide won 24-22. That was the beginning of the end for Brian Harsin because he had the lead.
Was that the Tank Bigsby game?
Yeah, he had the lead in that game in the first half. And, yeah, it was the Tank game. So 24-22 in 4 overtimes. Year before, T-Town, they won again 42-13. Auburn in 2019, Auburn beat them 48-45. In 2017, Auburn beat them 26-14. So the last time Alabama won in Auburn was 2015, 29-13.
We're close.
Yeah. And so you guys were definitely on the right chronology there. But credit Conor O'Gara for pointing that one out.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Alabama breaks that streak this year.
So that's another one of the lines that I wanted to touch on because it's kind of dicey.
14.5.
Yeah, it's 14 and a half.
Has it moved?
No, it's staying steady at 14 and a half, which, I mean, this is an Auburn team that is coming off of a drubbing at the hands of New Mexico State, but they are the home team. And we saw them go toe-to-toe with Georgia
They
at
play
home.
well there.
So,
But you know what else? They are the home team. They were the home team last week.
you're not wrong there. You are not wrong there.
Also, Hugh Freeze in his presser on Monday or Tuesday came out and said there's still a fog over this team in practice because of last week, even though it's Iron Bowl week.
Yeah,
they haven't been practicing well, which is it's probably not what you want to hear.
Exactly.
When you have Alabama in like 4 days.
Yeah, he's trying to call them out a little bit right now.
But that's inside voice. That's exactly what Alabama wants to hear.
Exactly.
And that's probably what everybody in Vegas wants to hear, and that's probably why that line is what it is. Some other wonky lines for you. Oregon State, a 13.5-point underdog, despite almost knocking off Washington last week. A 13.5-point underdog. Granted, they're going on the road to Eugene, but against the hated Ducks. I know this isn't one of our picks. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It is.
Oh, it is? Oh, okay. All right, so that one we're going to leave because we're going to talk about that. Washington is not, though, in our picks.
No.
Washington Wazoo.
The Apple Cup.
The Apple Cup, which has now shifted again. Washington, 16-point favorites over JJ's favorite college program, the Wazoo.
Matt has yet to pay the bet. I said Washington State would lose at least 3 games this year, and they lost like 6. But we'll see.
You know what,
when he
they've been
comes
close
back.
every
Maybe
time.
next year I'll get my money.
I just was kind of surprised with those double-digit point lines for those 3 games in particular.
It is the way Oregon has run roughshod over others, and it is maybe what JJ just said. You know, basically, Matt's Washington Cougars have kind of fallen on hard times here of late, and then what Washington was able to do, they get to. Is it in Washington?
I think it is.
Yeah. So they get to come out of that.
Yeah, it's in Seattle.
Yeah, that death trap that is Corvallis, and then they get to come home to Husky Stadium. Oyster dressing was mentioned on the text line.
I saw that.
Yeah. So there's definitely those are some good Menorcans. If they put a little oyster in there, I like that.
Auntie has sent me her list.
Here we go.
Here it is.
Drum roll, please, JJ.
All right.
Here we go.
First, seafood broil.
Okay.
Seafood chowder. Baked ham.
Yep.
Lemon pepper. Turkey wings.
Oh.
My favorite, lemon pepper.
Playing the hits.
Actually, Leon, she takes the turkey wings.
Yes.
Oh, she is.
Green
She's a
beans
saint.
with ham, peas and okra, candied yams, baked sweet potato, 7 cheese mac and cheese.
7 cheese. Jesus.
She's a superstar.
Feel my arteries.
Blueberry cranberry sauce,
Oh.
chicken and sausage stuffing.
Stuffing, yeah.
Oh, okay.
She'll season that up and stuff that bird.
Key
with it.
lime pie, lemon meringue pie, and cherry sweet tea.
Oh.
She does not miss.
No, she does not.
We need to get her in studio one day and just like do a cooking class.
Round of
because
applause
this is
for Aunt.
Absolutely.
incredible.
Awesome.
Incredible.
She's a hero. By the way, the Kick 6 was in 2013.
Yeah.
We're
That's
old.
it.
We
Yeah,
are
a decade
old.
ago.
We are old.
Yeah, a decade ago. And then what was that? Nick was like, "Hey, just one more second. Hey, Nick, you got a second? You got a second? All right."
He's never argued for a call ever again after that.
Golf Club of Southampton bringing you today's show. Don't forget, they will have their Friday night on the patio. So after you've filled your belly, Follow the Bird. You can head on and enjoy just either something on tap, something from the bar, and then that menu item that Chef Gary will prepare, and then music under the lights. You will enjoy it. We're talking the cool temperature on Friday night. I think it's probably going to be somewhere in the 60s or 50s, so definitely check it out. And then anytime you want to play, you can put a peg in the ground. Call 287-PLAY at the Golf Club of Southampton. Let's do our picks coming up.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL. Fans first.
I was born a Jags fan, and I'm Duval till I die.
Jaguars pride forever.
Duval!
1010XL, home of the Jaguars.
Mia here. The holidays are around the corner, and the last thing you want to be dealing with is a plumbing or septic emergency. Get those clogged drains flowing before your mother-in-law gets to town this weekend. Just give my friends at Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning a call. Water heaters, clogged drains, plumbing, septic tanks, HVAC issues. They do it all. Call my friends at Duck Duck Rooter today, 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Elevate your driving experience with Osteen Volvo Cars of Jacksonville. The Osteen Volvo team is a key piece of our community, and when it comes to cars, excellence is non-negotiable. Visit Osteen Volvo on Phillips Highway, online at osteenvolvo.com.
Ackerman Urology's new World Golf Village location is now open, just off I-95 on International Golf Parkway. Visit the experts at Ackerman for all your prostate and urological concerns. AckermanUrology.com.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
This is former NFL quarterback David Garrard. If your knees have taken a beating and you're finally ready to do something about it, then let Southeast Orthopedic take a look. Come on, do your knees a favor.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
When you hear a great call on 1010XL,
telephone communique.
It's covered by the All-Pro Roofing phone line.
If you'd like any further information, just call me.
Listen for great phone interviews all day on the All-Pro Roofing phone line on 1010XL.
It doesn't get any better than live country music. Enjoy Daryl Ray at Players Grill Miramar this Friday at 7 p.m. with discount cocktails while the local star rocks out. Players Grill Miramar, where the neighborhood meets.
This is my bar.
Hey, Matt Hayes here. Expert Automotive is now open at our brand new state-of-the-art facility on St. John's Bluff Road. As always, every repair comes with a lifetime service repair warranty. Come celebrate our grand reopening by getting a free AC inspection, $50 off any repair, $199 brake specials, and free diagnostics all month long. Call 374-3373 or visit us at our new location at 2190 St. John's Bluff Road. Expert Automotive. We never sell greed, only what you need.
Frank Franzi here for Stanley Pools. There's a reason so many of my friends and our listeners have had Stanley Pools build their pools and now maintain their pools because Stanley Pools truly cares about their customers. Stanley Pools is locally owned and has been serving our community for 35 years. For all of your pool needs, call Stanley Pools at 269-7277. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools. 269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com.
Does your home or building need painting? For over 20 years, Performance Painting has had the privilege of preserving many of Jacksonville's most prominent buildings. That said, we feel like we're just getting started. I'm Jason Parker, and our team thrives on preparing, protecting, and preserving the homes, businesses, and public buildings that make up our local landscape. Contact us today to put our years of experience to work for you. Performance Painting, prepare, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
Kicking here with a message from Zero Res. You gotta love this time of the year as we reflect on the things that matter most: our families, our homes, and the great land in which we live. Zero Res has been blessed to serve this community for more than 18 years. They're very grateful for you, all the good people of Jacksonville. That's why they want to thank you. Let them help you get ready for the holidays. Book today, and Zero Res will clean your carpets for only $49 a room. Plus, they'll give you 25% off your tile cleaning. That's a huge savings on both carpet and tile. Zero Res, man. Spell it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
When it comes to commercial fence services, Superior Fence and Rail has you covered. If your business needs automatic gates or security fence and railings, trust Superior with your next commercial project. Superior's team delivers great communication, high-quality products, and exceptional customer service. Just read any of their 2,300-plus reviews.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Experience the Canal Water System's difference, bringing purity and affordability right to your tap. Say goodbye to hard water woes and hello to clean, soft water for your family. Search KENAI Water Jacksonville.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the Otterson Wealth Advisors Risk-Reward Picks of the Week. Otterson Wealth Advisors, your goals, our expertise.
All right, so it is not a Friday, but it might as well be. We're doing picks today. Mia is beating the brakes off all the boys. She right now is 44-25 against the spread after another impressive 5-1 week.
I say we take that and go to Vegas and see what we can turn it into.
I say we fade her the rest of the way.
I say
I think
any
it might come
predictions I have regarding to the Jaguars this weekend, by golly, I hope they're correct.
All right, Campo is sort of falling back a little bit. He's 39-30. I'm 36-33. Joe 33-36. Leon 32-37, and poor Matt Hayes all the way in the back at 29-40 against the spread.
He
All right.
asked for the day off.
He tried telling us last week. He's like, "Hey, season's not over yet. It's the last
It's
regular
not.
season week." But
It's not. We're gonna change to like 6 NFL games in the weeks we don't have college from here on out. So we do have Coach on the phone. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing good, and I feel bad for you, Matt, but keep grinding.
Unfortunately, Matt's not here, but
He
I
had to
do
take
have
the
his
day off.
picks.
Yeah, just to hide.
He had,
I think
yeah,
he went.
exactly. He was scared. All right.
Yeah.
So I'll give you Matt's picks, and then Mia will do hers. So we'll start with the NFL. Obviously, some great college this weekend. All right, Niners at Seattle. Okay, so the best game of the weekend in the NFL is obviously the Jags game, but we never do the Jags games, if that's what you're wondering. All right, Niners at Seattle. Niners on the road is a 7-point favorite. Matt has Seattle. Mia, who you got?
I've got the Niners. I just think that this is a team that's starting to click on all cylinders. They've now won 2 in a row. I think you'll see 3. Also, the health of Geno Smith still up in the air.
Coach?
Boy, that's a tough spread. You know, I'll tell you what, I'm vacillating on this a little bit, but I'll tell you what, I have to compete with Mia now, so I'm going Seattle.
All right. I'm telling you, Coach, it's still early days, man.
I do like it.
All right, Joe's up next.
All right, I'm going to use the Geno logic because I watched this guy against the Rams. I might have had something on it, and he came back in the game, made a couple nice throws in the end. They said, "Hey, Drew, sit down." But I don't think Geno is healthy, and I put the Niners at the top of my power poll. I'm laying points.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, Seattle's a tough place to play. That 12th man is pretty loud.
It's a night game on
It's a night game
Thanksgiving.
on Thanksgiving. That's going to be a tough one. But the Niners are clicking. They're healthy, and that offensive line is the reason why they are the success they are. So I got the Niners to cover.
All right. I like them as well. I'm feeling a push on that game. All right. Bills at Eagles. Eagles at home are 3.5-point favorites. Mia.
Bills at Eagles.
3.5?
3.5. That's it. Isn't that wild?
Phillies at home?
I mean, it's not wild to me, but I could see why some people think it's wild.
I'm going with the Bills. I don't think they're dead yet, and I think the Eagles, after sneaking out a win in Kansas City, prime for the taking.
Coach?
I'm going with the Eagles. I'm not going to bet against them.
By the way, Philly Mo did text in today and asked, what about potato salad? Nobody brought up potato salad.
It's a standard. It's a good point.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it's a
Sorry,
standard.
Philly Mo.
That's why you're at home. Hey, you do what you want to do at your home. My
Yeah,
auntie
make
do what
potato salad.
she does what she
You're
does
not
at her
invited to
house.
Auntie's house.
Exactly.
All right, Joe?
3.5,
At home.
3.5. Yeah, I'm going to take Buffalo.
Well, I see some movement in the standings.
Right.
I'm taking the Eagles.
Yeah, Matt's taking the Eagles as well, but I'm taking the Bills.
Ooh.
I think the Eagles. I do this every single week with him. I might look like a fool. All right. Speaking of something I do every single week, it's pick the Chargers.
Oh, no.
Ravens at Chargers. Ravens on the road are 3.5-point favorites. Mia, who you got?
I got the Chargers covering, but losing dramatically by a field goal.
Yeah, I could see that. Coach?
I'm going with the Ravens. The Chargers are a fraud.
They certainly are that.
I am off of the Chargers.
Yeah, at home?
There is no such thing as a home field advantage there.
Yeah.
Sunday Night Football, too, by the way.
That defense has got to show up one day, don't they? I mean, all that money they spent on that defense, they should. I'm going to take the Chargers. I'm going against L Boogie again. I can't believe it. Last time I was right, though.
I'm taking the Chargers, and so is Matt. All right, let's
who?
Go ahead.
I'm taking the Ravens.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, I'm just making sure you got me. All right.
I just had to give Matt's pick as well.
Okay.
All right, sorry for that mix-up, folks. All right, let's go to college football, please. We're all thinking about the holiday, folks, if you haven't noticed.
That's
Sorry.
what's happening in the Jags media room, too, if you saw those tweets, by the way.
So let's save the big one for the end. So Oregon State. Oregon at home, we just talked about it, 13.5-point favorites. Mia, who you got?
I do like the Ducks to cover here just because I think they are an absolute wagon right now. Oregon State's coming off such an emotional, close loss to Washington. And I think for the Ducks, it's a matter of, hey, if we keep steamrolling teams, even if we can only squeak out a victory over Washington in the Pac-12 championship game, maybe the playoff looks at us through a different lens.
Coach?
I've been in that game.
Oh.
And it doesn't matter whether it's Oregon or Oregon State. That's going to be a close contest. I'm going with Oregon State.
13.5 is what you're saying.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Leon, what do you think? Oh, 13.5 for me. All right, because I'm looking at it. Bo Nix, 24 for 29, over 400 yards and 6 touchdowns. They are trying to win this man a Heisman. I'm going to lay the points.
That's a good take.
That is a good take. Yeah. I got Oregon State. Well, I got Oregon, but I got Oregon State to cover. They're going to cover.
All right.
Matt has the Ducks, and so do I. All right, the game. Ohio State at Michigan. I mean, geez, have we heard enough about Michigan the last month? They are at home, and they are laying 3.5 points. Mia.
Jim Harbaugh against the world.
Yeah.
I am picking the Wolverines.
Campo?
I'm going with Michigan as well. I hate to do it because I gotta make headway up here.
Give me the Buckeyes.
Okay. Well, I can appreciate Michigan being the most hated team in college football right now.
From
They're America's team, I thought.
From the victors to the villains.
You know, so I can appreciate that. One time I was that. So I'm going to go with Michigan. I'm going to ride that train.
Yeah, I think they're going to be uber motivated. I like the fact that their quarterback's name is JJ and their running back's name is Blake.
Yeah.
Sort of like
There
the
you
La
go.
Selva team. Michigan for me and Michigan for Matt. All right, the big one. Florida State at Florida. The battle of backups. Let's be real. None of us know what the hell is going to happen with the quarterback playing this
Truly.
game. This is crazy. Florida State is a 6.5-point favorite, though, on the road. Mia.
I have the Noles by a touchdown, as I do think that defense will show up. I think the Gators' defense, even in the swamp at night, continues to be suspect. And as long as Tate Rodemaker can get Keon Coleman and Trey Benson the ball, the Noles will win the game.
Coach?
I'm going to have to go with FSU as well. I think, they're ultra motivated by getting kicked out of the top four. So I think they're going to lay it on them regardless of who the quarterback is.
6.5 points. And I can make a case for Florida a season ago going up to Doak Campbell when few expected them to be able to go toe-to-toe with Florida State in Tallahassee. And were it not for Anthony Richardson, as we have referenced quite a bit, throwing it into the stands on a Hail Mary. As a matter of fact,
I think that's XL Primetime's favorite play
yeah,
over the last
as
season.
a matter of fact, I believe they went over 28 minutes of real game time without scoring, okay? And so they still made it close. All that said, I am laying the points.
Wow.
You want to know
After
why?
all that.
Yeah, you want to know why? Because Florida is giving up still 6.4 yards per play. Coach Campo, as a defensive coordinator, that's a nightmarish situation, giving up 6.4 yards per play. That means the other team only needs 2 plays to get a first down.
Genius.
Wow.
That
Well,
math right there was
they
next
stink.
level.
See, the unfortunate thing that happened to Florida now, what happened in Tallahassee to Jordan Travis was devastating. All right? But Florida had the opportunity to pull Graham Mertz and say, hey, listen, this game doesn't matter.
That's what I'm saying.
You know?
That would have been
The
hilarious.
backyard brawl matters. The backyard brawl
Yeah, but
matters.
they were trying to get to a bowl, man.
I understand.
Everything was
I
on the
understand.
line.
If Graham Mertz was in the game, I would have picked the Gators.
Absolutely. It would be a different line.
Yeah, absolutely. I would pick the Gators. But I think Florida State is motivated, you know, from dropping from 4 to 5 in the polls, and the coaches are going to use that. So I think they're going to win.
All right, Matt's taking the Noles, and I'm going to be the only one once again this week taking Florida. I think that's too many points for a backup quarterback on the road in the swamp.
Yeah, it's going to be loud, and they're going to get on him. That's for sure.
And, yeah, I'll risk it. I'll take Florida once again this week. And there we have it. That's the picks.
All right, Otterson Wealth Advisors, risk-reward picks. Coach, you are on record now.
Yeah, go back to listening to Christmas music.
Yeah, I was just right in the middle of chestnuts roasting on the open fire.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
We'll
All right,
see you
listen.
next week, Coach.
Yep, tell the
All
lovely
right,
Kay
guys.
happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to all you guys. Have a great one.
You're the
All right,
best,
buddy.
Coach.
All right, Coach.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, we got Gio coming in, a little Bari breakdown, and especially with those 2 quarterbacks, we will lead with those as far as the injuries are concerned. Man,
Do we actually know officially what Jordan Travis's injury was?
it has not been said, and I think it's just
A
it's that
lower body
unspoken.
injury.
Yeah, and it's, I believe, 2 broken bones. Radio doctor talking here, of course, but that's what it looks like to me. And when we take a look at, it was just a terrible, terrible injury because you saw it, Leon, and when it's going the other direction, you can't help but make that assumption. Just terrible. All right, so we will get into that. If you have a sports injury question, you can hit us 641-1010. We'll try and include it today or get it on our Breaking Bones Sunday morning. It's the kickoff to the kickoff show with Breaking Bones. We got a few more the Thanksgiving suggestions, and we also even had one requesting Leon just to read their menu because he sounded so damn good. It's XL Primetime.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Want even more excitement on game day? Then test your skills at Prize Picks, the best way to win big on fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick their projection for a wide variety of statistics, and place your entry. Simple. You can turn $10 into $250 just like that. Thanksgiving night, I have Ole Miss running back Quinshon Junkins to rush for less than 108 half yards. Now, listen to this. Prize Picks is the only daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy, keeping you in the game even if one of your players goes down. Sweat it out, watch your entries in real time, and continue the fun by making picks on second half and fourth quarter stats. Take your game day experience to the next level with Prize Picks. And right now, when you go to prizepicks.com/1010XL and use the promo code 1010XL, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. That's right, $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy.
It's high school football playoff play-by-play.
It was an unpredictable start to the season, and it's turned into the chase for their 12th state title. The Bulls Bulldogs move to the regional finals against Bishop Moore. Friday at 7 on 92.5 FM.
The deal of the year is here at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Mia here, and right now you could save thousands off original MSRP on pre-owned 2023 models, like a Toyota Corolla LE starting at just $18,881. The 2023 Toyota Camry LE or RAV4 LE as low as $23,881. You can even get a 2023 Toyota Tacoma TRD Off-Road 4x4 as low as $38,881. Shop arlingtontoyota.com and save thousands today.
Let John Smith Subs be your first choice for huge, mouth-watering subs and sports talk. Because John Smith Subs doesn't play games with flavor, so every visit feels like a championship celebration. Experience the thrill of the grill with specialty subs like the famous Steak Bomb and the Gator with chicken, steak, bacon, kielbasa, and a little swamp sauce. plus a full lineup of cold and hot deli subs, including the best Cuban in Duval. Bring your big mouth to John Smith Subs on Hodges and JTB.
It's a fact. Cold weather kills car batteries. Make sure your battery is strong enough to withstand another winter. Have it tested for free at Batteries Plus. Need a replacement? We have plenty of options available from the industry's top brands. Plus, free battery installation in most vehicle makes and models, or upgrade to Premier installation for added protection. You'll also find jump starters, windshield wiper blades, and other winter auto essentials at your nearest location or online at batteriesplus.com.
So I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, Director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 5-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $30,000 a year, and right now graduate making over $80,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition and no student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted into the program, your only costs are the books and the course fees, around $700 a year.
Wow, that sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org, and you can apply there.
Apply by May 23rd.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On November 22, 1998, John Elway joins Dan Marino as the only players with 50,000 yards as the Broncos post a 40-14 victory over the Raiders.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous, don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
Your AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
Hey Jaguars fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic looking for a parking space? Well, join the thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to Everbank Field is on JTA's Game Day Express. Shuttles run from 5 locations around Jacksonville. Passes start at $10 and are available exclusively on the MyJTA mobile app. Visit JTAFLA.com for full details. The JTA Game Day Express, where you're winning before the game even starts. Your Game Day Express is sponsored by the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens.
The age of light beer is here. Modelo Oro, treasured for its smooth, elevated taste and crisp, clean finish. 90 calories, 3 grams of carbs. It's the gold standard of light beer.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein & Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
Tailgating is back. But if you're like most of us, your grill is probably a filthy, greasy mess. Trust Grill SOS Barbecue Grill Cleaning Service to make sure your grill is squeaky clean for the fall grilling season. Schedule your grill cleaning now at grillsos.com.
This is Dr. Steve Crenshaw, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson this morning on the turnaround that DeMeco Ryans has done with the Houston Texans.
Doesn't surprise me. I know Coach Ryans. I know he's a former player. I know how he's been coached, how he's been taught, who he's worked for and worked under, the influences that he's had as a coach. And so there's no surprise that these guys are feeding off of that too, and that makes a difference. When you get the right leader in there, you can flip a franchise. Obviously, we were able to do it last year a little bit, and there's a belief, right? And there's a belief down there, and that goes a long way, to winning in this league.
Doug Peterson this morning, courtesy of Jaguars.com. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars Update.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Our next guest is not affiliated with the NFL or Jacksonville Jaguars.
Discussion of injuries is solely based on opinion.
Now, The Bari Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Injury Breakdown.
I'm coming in hot.
Day before Thanksgiving, Gio is fired up and ready to go. Carving up a turkey tomorrow. Your favorite side, Gio? What's your favorite side?
Sweet potatoes.
Sweet
with
potato?
the marshmallows.
Yeah.
Gotta have
That's just all sugar.
Yeah.
That's all sugar. All right. We have got our man, fellowship trained under the renowned Dr. James Andrews. He of Bari Orthopedics right here in the city, really covering the First Coast. If you have an injury, you can log on bariorthopedics.com when it comes to joint pain. He has all the answers for you, that's for sure. If you've got a question, you can also throw it our way at 641-1010. We'll try and include it on Breaking Bones Sunday morning at 7:30. We need to deal with the two really bad injuries for the local teams, Florida State and Florida. And Gio, I know you looked at the injury for Jordan Travis. They haven't completely described or disclosed what the injury or the extent of the injury is, but it looked bad.
Yeah. So it looked like he had a fracture dislocation, which means you break the ankle and then you dislocate, right, the ankle. And when you dislocate, it's the talus. So the ankle is the medial malleolus, which is the inside, the little knob on the inside. Then you have what we call the lateral malleolus or the fibula, which is that knob on the outside. And then you have the talus, which is the bone that sits underneath that roof that allows you to flex and extend that ankle. So when you have a fracture dislocation, usually the lateral malleolus, so the outside breaks, at least at minimum, and then that talus comes out. And you can see his whole foot was rotated.
Oh, my gosh.
The wrong
it
way.
looked like half of his leg was rotated.
Right. So number one that's bad, right? You can have cartilage injury to the talus, and then you'll get arthritis, and you'll have a hard time running, and because of the arthritic pain and the damage to the cartilage. So the best case scenario for him is that he fractured his fibula, and then tore his deltoid ligament, which kind of holds it in place, and it dislocated. So that's best case scenario. Worst case scenario is he had what we call bimalleolar fracture, so he broke the medial and lateral, or maybe you call also trimal, where he breaks the posterior part. The talus dislocates. There's cartilage damage. He can have what they call, it doesn't look like it, but possibly what we call a peel-on fracture, where the roof of the tibia gets crushed into
the knee.
No, the roof of the tibia on the ankle.
Okay.
That gets crushed in. That's worst case scenario. Peel-on fracture, trimal fracture, cartilage to the damage to the cartilage. So it can go either way. I mean, either way, a fracture dislocation is not good at all. But there's different severities, right, of what type of fracture dislocation.
He sent stuff out on Instagram, the stories where a lot of his teammates were there, but he stayed in over the weekend. So they obviously had to address it immediately.
So there's two ways to do it, right? It depends who you ask. Some people believe these big injuries, you put it in an X-fix. Remember the movie Office Space? The guy gets hit by a car and he puts the thing in his leg, right?
Yeah.
Like this. Antennas. So the X-fix to let the swelling goes down, because you usually swell up immediately. Let the swelling go down. Once the swelling goes down, you then do a final fixation with plate and screws. As some people will say, if you get it early, just do it now, or before it swells up. But you can argue either way, and I think there's pros and cons to either one. They haven't said anything about surgery, whether he had the temporary fixation or ORIF. But you could do either one depending on the tissue that he has.
Now, Doc, Graham Mertz with the Florida Gators, I mean, he broke his collarbone. Now, what goes into the process, the healing process of getting him back and going? He's out for the year, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they talked about his collarbone, and at this time they said it's non-displaced, which means it's anatomically correct.
Okay.
And they're going to do no surgery. So when someone comes in with a collarbone fracture, there's a couple of criteria you have to meet for surgical fixation. You have to be overlapped, shortened more than 2 centimeters. Has to be possibly almost poking through the skin, right? That way, because you worry about an open fracture, it's tenting the skin, we call it. Shortening of 2 millimeters. You can have some comminution. So those are usually the criteria to fix it. If it's non-displaced or it's not shortened up to 2 centimeters, you can leave it in a sling and let it heal. You do have to watch it, though, because like any fracture, things can move. So you put him in a sling, you get an x-ray in a week, make sure in 1 week it's still non-displaced and still not tenting the skin. Then you get one again in 2 weeks, usually by the 4-week mark,
right?
3 to 4 week mark. If it hasn't moved, it's not moving anymore. It's gotten sticky enough to where it's going to be where it's at and going to start healing.
Because the quote from Napier, we took another image yesterday and felt good about that image. Basically going to go in a 2-week period where we're going to give it a chance for the fracture to start the process of growing back and then reevaluate.
Right, so that's what I mentioned. They got a new X-ray. They liked what it looked like. It didn't move from the original X-ray. They're going to get another X-ray in 2 weeks. Make sure confirm that it's not moving, because if it does move and it becomes surgical, you want to get to that early. You don't want to wait 6 to 8 weeks.
Right.
And now you have what we call a malunion, so a fracture that's healed incorrectly, and now you have to break it, and it becomes a whole thing. It's much more difficult than if you get a fracture that's fresh and hasn't healed yet.
To the National Football League we go. A couple of injuries for the Texans, most notably an ankle injury to Dameon Pierce, Doc. He has not appeared in a game for the Texans since the start of November, so we're going on week 3. He did practice 2 days last week. He has practiced so far this week. Ankle injuries, obviously, high ankle sprain versus low ankle sprain. Just walk us through the difference between timelines for those, since we still don't know exactly what's wrong with the former Gator.
Yeah, a high ankle sprain on average takes longer than a regular ankle sprain, right? However, you can definitely have what I call normal ankle sprains that take a very long time to heal because of their severity. It's not completely abnormal to have an ankle sprain that takes a long time that is not a high ankle sprain. So it can be any one of those two, but normally the high ankle sprain, you're looking at 6 to 8 weeks at minimum to come back. And a regular ankle sprain, it could be 2 weeks, it could be 1 week, and it could be 6, 7, 8 weeks on the extreme side of it.
And speaking of high ankle sprains, Mark Andrews, courtesy of the hip drop tackle that has now come into question in both college and the National Football League because of what happened to Jordan Travis as well.
It's a cattle tackle
right now.
is what it is.
So you come at it from a side. At first, the Ravens said he's out for the year. Then they said, well, depending on how long we're in the playoffs, he could potentially return.
I mean, we're week 12 right now.
Week 11.
Week 11, and the playoffs are week 18.
19.
Right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, because we have 17 game season.
So we're at 7. That's 7 weeks.
Right.
Right. That's 2 months. So I mean, yeah, if they say high ankle sprain, we talk about 6 to 8 weeks. Definitely possible to be back if the playoffs hit and you're at that 7, 8 week mark.
Yeah.
It's not out of the question. Now, is it guaranteed he's going to come back? No, but it's not out of the question to think about it. Say maybe we can hit this timeline.
Like Joey Bosa is another example. I don't know how long he's going to be out. Really can't tell 100% what it looked like with his knee, but they're basically talking about putting him on injured reserve, and it's a foot sprain. I said knee, I meant foot. It's a foot sprain, and you couldn't tell whether it was the front, middle, or back of the foot. And he's been through some of these injuries before. So anyway, they're talking about putting him on injured reserve and maybe being able to get him back.
Yeah, foot sprain is a very vague term. Usually when I hear that, I think midfoot. That's just personally what I think about when people say foot sprain. And that's those tarsal bones that you have in there, just kind of packed tightly in an area. There's a lot of ligaments that go across. But yeah, I mean, any sprain at this point, if you're going to the playoffs, it's 7, 8 weeks. You can definitely possibly make it back to that. Now, are you going to be as good, and are you going to have the stamina? When you come back, that's a different question. But this point in time, an injury like that, it's still feasible to think about coming back.
Yeah, I ask myself that question all the time, Gio. Now, this is one off of Breaking Bones from last week. You remember the Odell Beckham tackle? He went down on his shoulder, AC joint injury. So the question was asked, what is Odell dealing with as an older wide receiver coming back from a shoulder injury like that?
Well, I mean, anytime you're older, you heal. It doesn't heal as well or as fast. You don't come back as well. But there's still different grades of the AC joint, 1, 2, 3. And 1 or 2 usually not surgical.
Right.
2 is still a little worse than 1. You're out for a little longer. But like a grade 1 injury, I had someone come in, injured it, still having some pain, but a week later they could play.
Okay.
You do have to be careful because you're still slightly injured with pain. So if you do fall on it, there's a risk that it can make it worse. But if you're, pain tolerance is enough for, hey, I can go play, you just got to be a little, cautious of not falling on it or just protecting that spot.
I may have forgotten the missing OBJ and Mark Andrews with the Chargers versus Ravens selection.
One more before we send you off, Gio, because I'm not sure with J-Fun next week if we are going to have you in next week.
He is a big part of the J-Fun.
Oh,
next
even
week.
better. So we're going to have to plug that before we say goodbye. Taylor Dahl told me, and again, I didn't see this report, but apparently it's out there, that Aaron Rodgers is now saying December 2nd.
To practice, to jog or something. I read that somewhere.
Yeah, to start running.
Not to play.
Yeah, but still, like,
When was his surgery again?
would have been what, September, like, 15th
It was,
or
I
something?
figure
Because September 11th was the game.
Yeah, it was the game. The following week.
That's 12 weeks, I believe. Because I saw this. 12 weeks, I think, that's 3 months from his injury. I think to jog is okay at 3 months. I still think that 6 months. 6 months is the mark we all talk about coming back from an Achilles surgery. Anything to play, like full action. Anything before that, I believe you're at risk to injure it. Now, 3 months to jog, that's pretty. I mean, it's good.
Right.
We'll see if he does it and see how well he jogs. Right. Those are two different things. But I think it's so. People, I think, are hyping this up a little more.
Yes.
Than what it is.
I just feel bad for people like yourself that are in the medical profession, that he's out here like phrasing it as, I'll be back December 2nd. Jogging.
Yeah.
Like,
Listen,
it's just a slap in the face to you guys.
I just did the exact same surgery he had yesterday, and if this guy wants to go back and play, it's 6 months.
And it's one thing to jog and run in a straight line. It's another thing to do all those other things.
Right. It's the one thing to golf like Joe golfs, or
As
actually be
bad
good
as
at
I
golf.
am, exactly. Or be Tiger, exactly. All right, Gio, they can find our podcast if they
Google,
just go
Apple,
look.
Spotify.
Or 1010XL.com. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
You too.
Wait, what's the J Fund connection? Are we allowed to
I'll
share
tell you
or
about
not
that
yet?
later.
Oh, we're gonna hear about it later. Oh, okay, a tease. Okay, that's
By the
cool.
way,
Tiger is back.
All I need to do is remind people that he was a big part of it last year, that he made a very
Absolutely.
nice donation. So.
What was that, JJ?
Tiger's back, by the way. Joe just brought him up.
He's going to play in the Hero and the PNC. He announced that with the father and son. So that's pretty cool. That'll be the first two of the first 3 weeks in December.
So that means around the middle of December, Doc, we'll be asking you about Tiger's latest injury.
All right, happy Thanksgiving to
You
you
too,
and
guys.
Mrs. Dr. Barry and young Michael and George. Yeah. All right.
Not George Michael.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right, Big Sirs. So you've got are you heading to Orlando or Tally? Which way are we going?
I'm heading to Orlando.
Okay, this is the Orlando Auntie.
Yeah. So,
and then you said a big crowd there.
Yeah, big crowd. Yeah, I gotta go get my supply of cigars for the weekend.
That's what you're bringing.
Yeah, that's what I'm bringing.
Besides himself, I love it.
All right. Well, happy Thanksgiving, Big Brother.
All right, y'all too. Have a great
All right,
time.
for sure. Now we head into the 2:00 hour. We're going to get two coaches on today because there are a lot of playoff alive teams in our high school First Coast area, and we'll roll through all of them with Justin Barney. But we're definitely setting up Toby Bullock with Mandarin as they have a big ball game after beating Lake Mary, a bit of a revenge game last week, and then also St. Augustine gets to host. Is it Choctawhatchee is coming in to take on the Yellow Jackets. So we'll get into all that coming up with our high school half hour.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers. Everything you need to know about your Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars Today with Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony.
Jaguars Today from the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Studios.
Every weekday from 10 to noon on 1010XL.
Mia here, and it's giving season. And guess what? MyBookie has given us at 1010XL the green light to trial a brand new exclusive sportsbook bonus for Thanksgiving week only. The bonus offer this week is a 110% deposit match up to $1,100. That means deposit $1,000 to receive the full amount. It's MyBookie's biggest sportsbook bonus in its history. You heard that right. You can more than double your money before you even bet by making your deposit with MyBookie. Just sign up using promo code 1010XL. The minimum deposit amount is $50 to receive the bonus, and this bonus offer will not be listed on their website. Truly exclusive to 1010XL. Big moment for you Nooners out there. The offer is only available for the next 7 days. Monday the 27th, that is too late. The code 1010XL will revert to the previous offer. Don't sleep on this special bonus offer. 110% deposit match up to $1,000 this week only at MyBookie.
Did you know the new 2023 Honda Accord Hybrid has an onboard system that charges the battery so you never have to plug it in? When you think Honda, you think quality, value, safety. Now think hybrid. Visit your local Honda dealer and experience the car of tomorrow today.
Wood floors should make your home look cozy and inviting. But old worn-out floors can look kinda, Let Renew Solutions give your floors a stunning makeover. For a no-obligation appointment, visit renewjacksfloors.com.
Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room. now called The Vault. Enter today at jaguars.com/shadows. One winner a guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase to enter or win, must be 18 or older and a legal resident of Florida or Georgia. Promotion period 9/5/23 through 12/15/23. For official rules and complete details, visit jaguars.com. Sponsored by Jacksonville Jaguars, LLC.
5-Star Pizza is bigger, better, and faster. Call now for their 1010XL value deal. That's 2 12-inch cheese pizzas for just $10 each. And they'll deliver them to you right now. 10-10 deal from 5-Star Pizza.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes with a quick 2-week check-in on my Awaken 180 journey. And are you ready for this? I'm 16 pounds lighter. I've hit my first major milestone. I'm back to running, something I haven't done in more than a year. Now, do you have to run to lose weight with Awaken 180? Absolutely not. Exercise is great and encouraged, but if losing weight is your goal, it's about what you put in your mouth. That's where Awaken 180 steps in. Every week, my coach Kristen dives into my stats, not just body weight, but fat percentage, water weight, and other metrics, and adapts my plan accordingly. They're not guessing, everyone. This is real weight loss. Thanksgiving is here, and I already have a plan that will allow me to enjoy the feast and still see the pounds melt away. Look, Awaken 180 isn't just a diet, it's real. It's life. So if you're thinking about a change, think Awaken 180. Call them at 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com. Real life, real changes, real results.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Committed to the team. Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
At Beaches Jewelry and Pawn, layaway is always an option. Times are tough for some, so anything you need or want from surfboards to tools to high-end jewelry, layaway is always an option at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Online at beachesjewelryandpawn.com.
Rock Resurrection Tour, starring Theory of a Dead Man and Skillet. Friday, November 24th, Daly's Place. Same night, same stage. With special guest Saint Asonia. On sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Theory of a Dead Man. Skillet. Together live.
I'm Tom Coughlin, founder of the J Fund Foundation. Every year we ask for your help, and every year you come through. Your generosity helps local families tackle childhood cancer.
And I'm Dan Hicken. We're asking you to please be there November 29th for the J Fund Radiothon here on 1010XL. Or you can send your gift of $100 right now. Text GOAL to 243-725.
Thank you for supporting the J Fund on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Superior Fence and Rail knows about exceptional customer service. From the first call to the final inspection, Superior's team provides first-class care with great communication, friendly installers, and quality fence products. There's a reason why Superior is the top-rated fence company in Jacksonville. So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail for your new fence today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. Due to injuries to both starting quarterbacks, Graham Mertz and Jordan Travis, there will be dueling backup quarterbacks on Saturday night when the Gators meet the Seminoles in Gainesville. Max Brown will start for the Gators, and Tate Rodemaker will take the football for Florida State. Gators head coach Billy Napier on what he knows about FSU quarterback Tate Rodemaker.
You know, he's a coach's son. This is a fourth year in the system, right? So he got there in 20. He's acquired reps throughout his time there. He'll have a good grasp of what they do. A little bit different type of player, but certainly he's got his strengths.
The Gators host number 5 Florida State Saturday night in the Swamp with kickoff at 7 o'clock. It's 70 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's the high school half hour on XL Primetime. Brought to you by Gatorade. Fuel up with Gatorade at your local Winn-Dixie. And I-9 Sports, the way youth sports should be.
We love Gatorade and I-9 Sports for bringing you our high school half hour. It is Wednesday, and teams that are playing past Thanksgiving are definitely stoked. Joe C., Mia O'Brien. Mia will be heading down to the locker room coming up in just a little bit. We're going to roll through as many games as we can, and you've got great storylines, that's for sure. And we say thanks to Gatorade. Look for it at your local Winn-Dixie. Proven fuel for high school athletes, and you definitely can find it at any one of your area Winn-Dixies. And, of course, I-9 Sports, i9sports.com. You can find out everything that they've got going on, including their brand-new places with winter and spring registration open up right now. So make sure you drop on by and check out I-9 Sports for your kids and make sure they get in the game. Now, if we look back this past week, you're talking about a ton of games. Reigns hosting the Bulls Bulldogs, 14-7 the final. What do they get with Bulls moving on past Reigns? Well, you get Bishop Moore next in Orlando, who just beat Riverside, and that was a great game, 37-35. A ton of points put up in that game.
Yeah, and as you heard, at least in a couple of the updates today, Gibby caught up with Matthew Toblin, and he noted that this is a Bishop Moore team that not only has Bulls seen in the postseason in recent years, but it seems like every team in our area has run into them at some point or another over the last few years. A close contest, though. So for anybody who thinks Bishop Moore is just plowing through any and all teams from the Duval County area, not so fast.
Right.
And that was even after, they defeated Ed White, too. That was a 20-point game, so okay, fine there. For me, the biggest question with Bulls is who are the Bulls Bulldogs? We still really don't know, and it's November 22nd. I'm sure there is some thought to, hey, their schedule was so difficult in the early goings. That's why they started 0-3. First time since, 1970-something. There was some panic, but all three losses were by one possession. DJ Moore, of course, headed to Coastal Carolina. They have Naeem Burrows, who is as talented,
really
a
good
young
player.
wide receiver as you will see. 6'3", I want to say.
Oh, he's a big cat.
He is
yeah.
going to be getting all those same Power 5 looks that Jamie French of Mandarin is getting. And I think there was just such high expectations for this offense to really take off, and it probably necessarily hasn't. But hey, what better time than now? And I know they're just happy to be practicing on Thanksgiving, too.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. And as long as they keep playing on, then they got much, much, much to look forward to. St. Augustine High Yellow Jackets, we're going to say hello to Brian Braddock coming up in just a bit. They had a big win. Devontae Lyons running roughshod over Escambia, 31-14. They get to host Choctawhatchee, so we'll say hello to him coming up in a little bit. Ponte Vedra played their tails off down the stretch. They end up losing to Buchholz, 34-21, and that's who Bartram gets next.
Yeah, and I don't think a lot of people expected Bartram to go to Pensacola and do what they did. I believe
6-hour bus ride, is that?
And back-to-back weeks that they had to do it. I believe somebody looked up the stat. They're like the first team from our area to ever have to go back-to-back weeks back to the Central Time Zone, travel time zones in consecutive weeks in the playoffs, and managed to score a victory both times. And so Bartram, again, they're not necessarily the same look team that they were. Obviously it's a new regime, new coaching staff, but Gainesville Buchholz, man, it's a buzzsaw. It's a buzzsaw. And that's been, whether you're Creekside, whether you're Ponte Vedra, like year in and year out for the last 3-4 years. If you have to go to Gainesville Buchholz, have fun. It's
funny because there was a big gap in time between when they were good and then now that they're good again. But that's kind of what's been happening with the way the districting has worked around here. So Bartram, after beating Niceville, they're going to have to answer the bell. Honestly.
Can I hit you with a bet you didn't know, Josie?
Yeah.
Let's do it, JJ.
Here's a bold fact, brought to you by Bold City Brewery, Duval's first craft brewery. Online at boldcitybrewery.com.
There are 2 players on the Gainesville Buchholz roster whose fathers played for the University of Florida. Can you name the son and the father?
So 2 different sons and fathers.
Right.
And is it football or is it
Oh,
not?
no. It's on this football roster.
Okay,
Yep,
because
and
I
they
was
both
thinking
played
Vernon
football.
Maxwell. Is Vernon?
I don't see any Maxwell.
Okay,
no.
all right, because I was just thinking that he played hoop, and I was just wondering if his son played football. I'm trying to think. Shane's son played there. All right, I'm going to go with Matthews. No?
No.
All right, because he's already played there. I was thinking he might have had another one.
Do you want me to give you a hint?
Yeah.
We talked to one of them not too long ago.
Seatric is not over there. Who?
Florida Georgia Hall of Fame inductee.
Yeah.
Ernest Graham, his son Miles.
Oh,
who
that's right. He is
transferred
at
in from the
Buchholz.
Atlanta area. 51 tackles, 13 rushing scores, plays both ways.
And a commitment to the University of Florida, yeah.
And
Yeah.
one more. It's the
Yeah.
quarterback.
Yeah. Who is it?
Trace Johnson, the son of former Gator quarterback Doug Johnson.
And so Doug did go to Buchholz. I forgot about that.
Well, his son is at Buchholz, yes.
Yeah, I'm saying, no, Doug went
Yeah.
to Buchholz. Yeah, I
Mhm.
forgot about
Yep.
that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that's good. I like that. Well, Ponte Vedra lost to him, and now there's another local tie, another SJC team that's going to take them on. So that is a pretty good crew over there. Bradford over East Side, they were tied early, 7-all, and then they end up running away with it, which is what the Tornadoes do. They basically put them through a windstorm of defense, and they end up winning 28-7. And I want to say they forced 6 fumbles in that game. As they just destroyed them. Now, they get Baker next, which is the Jamie Rogers Bowl.
It's the Jamie Rogers Bowl, and I think that if we can make a comparison to the Jacksonville Jaguars, I would say Kevin Mays, the successor to Jamie Rogers at Baker County, is kind of like Doug Peterson in that he's all about peaking at the right time. They're 8-3. Plenty of folks were worried. I love you, Baldwin, but you know that earlier season loss. Early in the season, they avenged that. They defeated Baldwin to get to this point. They defeated Yulee, an up-and-coming squad who Hacker and I got to spend some time with last year. Love what they're building up there in Nassau County. But, yeah, this is a Baker County team that we've seen go to the Final Four in recent years, and it's because they peak at the right time.
And let's give Kevin Mays a lot of credit, okay? I call it the Jamie Rogers Bowl because he coached at both places. But Kevin Mays has done a really good job up there, and they beat Yulee 32-14. So, and I think Yulee might have gone up early in that game. Anyway, Baker jumped on him and took care of business.
We had more than one nooner who texted in this week and said that College Game Day should be going to this game. They shouldn't be worried about going to the game up in Ann Arbor.
All right, a couple of other ones here real quick. University Christian versus Trinity Christian. That's Christians versus Conquerors. And I believe AR was in attendance. And they end up, it ends up Verlin Dormley's club, the Trinity Christian Conquerors, end up winning 26-22. That was a close game. And remember, University had picked them off last year. And so Trinity plays on. Providence, their season comes to an end. They lose 28-25, very close ball game. So there have been a bunch of them that were able to play into the postseason, but now only a handful left.
And we didn't get a chance to, so we will. A congratulations to our guy, Verlin Dormany. 325 career wins after that victory on Friday night. He is now the winningest high school coach in the state of Florida's history, which is just huge.
Yeah, and so we knew that when he was chasing this record, it was Corky Rogers' record, and that you're talking about something special when you're able to do that. And so Verlin has been around a long time and has done many, many, many great things in terms of, you know, the kids that he's brought through that program, sent them on. It could be Division I offer, lower level offer, it doesn't matter. And then also playing in the National Football League. So, yeah, a lot of good stuff there.
I would compare, and not to compare apples and oranges, but Trinity's season so far and Bowles' season, different but similar in that we expected such offensive firepower, especially from Trinity, knowing they have Colin Hurley, the LSU commit, reclassified, so really shouldn't be a senior right now, but he is. And while they've been able to put up points, it's not nearly at the clip that we were anticipating. Like, yes, they hung 40 on Providence, 47 on, wait for this one, JJ, Specially Fit Academy. But outside of those two games in their last 6 or 7 games, you got 27 points, 19 points, 12 points in that 14-12 loss to Riverside, 14 against UC in the regular season meeting, 28 this past Friday night. So maybe it's not the offensive showcase that we were expecting from the Conquerors, given their quarterback. But, hey, they're finding ways to win.
Especially Fit Academy, like Bishop Sycamore vibes from that place.
They're
like
10-3, though.
Not even a real school.
So they're the Rams.
Dover, Florida.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure where Dover is.
I don't know either.
Lived here all my life.
Let's see who their best win this season.
Dover, Florida's in
They're
Delaware.
playing IMG
Yeah.
on Friday, so there's that. They've played
it's
Sebastian.
in Hillsboro.
Yeah,
Okay.
they've played
Hillsborough County.
Sebastian River, True TRU Prep Academy, Joshua Christian. It looks like True Prep Academy is
Yeah,
the.
those are.
That's the Bishop Sycamore.
Those are diploma mills, is what those
Life
are.
Christian Academy, AACA, Acklins Angels Christian Academy in
Yeah.
Winter Haven. I hope you Tampa Nooners aren't getting upset with us, but I'm just like laughing at some of these names.
Yeah, listen, they'll create either a basketball program and build a high school around it, or in this case, a football program. All right, so we have a handful of great storylines that are still alive. We'll say hello to Justin Barney. Let's say hello to Brian Braddock coming up next, the head coach for the St. Augustine High Yellow Jackets, which have a big ball game coming up Friday. So we'll say hello to him. High school half hour thanks to i9sports.com. Don't forget, you can enter 1010 in the promo code, and you can get that discount. They are signing you up right now for winter and spring sports. So make sure you go to i9sports.com. And don't forget Gatorade. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. You are heading to the locker room.
Yes.
So we will have plenty coming out of the 1010XL social channels as the Jags are back at work today, getting ready for that huge ball game against the Houston Texans.
Cruising with XL Prime Time in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Mia here. The holidays are around the corner, and the last thing you want to be dealing with is a plumbing or septic emergency. Get those clogged drains flowing before your mother-in-law gets to town. Just give my friends at Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning a call. Water heaters, clogged drains, plumbing, septic tanks, HVAC issues, they do it all. Call my friends at Duck Duck Rooter today. 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
3 ladies.
Lauren, Taylor, and Mia.
3 opinions. 3 times the fun.
Some girls have all the fun.
Helmets and heels. Driven by Tire Outlet.
And presented by Underwood Jewelers.
And First Coast Lighting and Fans. Tuesday nights at 6 on 1010XL.
Attention car buyers, are you in the market for a new vehicle? Are you noticing the markups on vehicles on dealers' lots? Well, come to Key Buick GMC, where we never have markups on our vehicles. Ask for Derek or Brian. In addition, Key Buick GMC is the only Buick GMC dealer with a lifetime powertrain warranty on all new Buicks and GMCs. Holidays are approaching, and we are your local service headquarters. That's Key Buick GMC. We are professional grade across the street from Tinseltown, Southside and Gate.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm dedicated to helping businesses manage risk, maximize opportunities, and move their company forward. Jimerson Burr attorneys are business-oriented lawyers, equally comfortable as community leaders, private transaction counselors, or courtroom advocates. If you have a legal issue of any kind affecting your business, contact the firm at 389-0050 or jimersonfirm.com.
Men suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, frustrated taking pills that don't work. Here's a message from Prime Men's Medical Center.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Prime Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough treatments with men lasting longer than ever without pain or surgery.
Call now. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results right in the office. Call Prime Men's Medical Center now. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
Tease the season at Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf for holiday specials this year. Featuring the Ping G430 drivers, which combine the ultimate combination of distance and forgiveness. And from Bushnell, the new Tour V6 Series laser rangefinders provide you the most accurate distances in golf. There's always gift cards in any amount for the special golfer you're shopping for. Edwin Watts Golf Shops is home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee. Shop us in store or online at worldwidegolf.com.
When you hear a great call on 1010XL, telephone communique, it's covered by the All-Pro Roofing phone line.
If you'd like any further information, just call me.
Listen for great phone interviews all day on the All-Pro Roofing phone line on 1010XL.
The Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute is now offering online scheduling for new patient appointments for all of their physicians. Simply schedule your appointment on your cell phone, tablet, or desktop. JOI is the first orthopedic practice in North Florida to offer this feature to patients. To schedule your appointment online, visit joi.net and click on the button at the top of the page. If you'll be using insurance, be sure and have your information handy. JOI, where the pros go.
The best time of the year for blue crabs right now at the Blue Crab Crab House. They've been open since 1996, and they are a staple here in Duval. Sundays, you have the Bloody Mary specials, mimosas as well, $2.50 noon until 5 o'clock. Of course, each and every Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oysters. Right off of San Jose on Jewington Creek Road, it is the Blue Crab Crab House.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about enjoying your life. So often we can go through life trying to make a living instead of making a life. Yes, it's good to be goal-oriented, but let me encourage you today that our days are numbered. We're not promised tomorrow, so go out and take time to be with your family. You'll always have your work, but you won't always have your family.
To hear more inspirational messages by Reverend Dr. Nicholas Lowe, please visit our website at stjohnthedivine.com.
If your lawn is not as green as you'd like, it's time to go orange by calling Orange Environmental Services, Jacksonville's highest quality pest control for over 45 years. Frank Franchi here. I've trusted Orange Environmental to take care of our home's pest control needs for years. With the Orange Shield Protection Plan for your home or office, you can relax knowing Orange Environmental will handle pest control, termite control, and mosquito control. Orange Environmental has been giving Northeast Florida peace of mind from bug problems since 1972. Call them today at 272-3284.
Get into the game at Best Bet. Come enjoy the best in-card games, hospitality, and fun at Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park. You don't have to be a poker pro to have a great time. Featuring poker games of all limits and easy-to-learn games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em and Pai Gow. Wager on exciting simulcast races and enjoy delicious food and drink. Our card rooms are open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 a.m. and 24 hours on Saturday and Sunday. Details at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's the high school half hour on XL Primetime. Brought to you by Gatorade. Fuel up with Gatorade at your local Winn-Dixie. And I9 Sports, the way youth sports should be.
Yeah, he's panicking now. Tell you what, high school football, it's at its best late in the season. They go through all that early sweating in the summertime so they can get to Thanksgiving. And we say congratulations to all that play on past Turkey Day tomorrow. And one of them is the St. Augustine Yellow Jackets. As we say hello to Brian Braddock. Congratulations, Coach. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
I'm doing outstanding. And, you know, look, I've watched the Yellow Jackets through the years as a St. Johns County guy forever, and I know how good the football is, and I know who you learned under, and then obviously what you've been able to do. But I'm not asking you to, like, go deep in reflection, but you guys have had a hell of a run to get to this point.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like you just said. I mean, if you make it to Thanksgiving, that's a benchmark of a special year, and doesn't mean that you get there and you shut her down by any means. Like, we want to continue, but it is special. It'll be special tomorrow to have a bunch of alumni. You know, we'll have parents and family members will come out to our Thursday walkthrough, and it's just a really fun time.
So let's just hit a few, and if you don't mind, a couple highlights. We're talking with Brian Braddock, coach of the St. Augustine High Yellow Jackets, because there was a little history made early in the year when you were able to beat Bowles. Brunswick was a hell of a matchup. Bartram, we know the rich history. And then you go on down the line, and the wins, all of them, including Palatka, kind of, you know, turning things around. You still took care of business there. And then the Escambia game. Before we ask you a little bit about Escambia from last week, just the overall regular season, there definitely were some high water marks.
Yeah, you know, we knew that we had the capacity to have a really good football team. We knew we had some talented players who played a lot of football last year. And but like I told everybody that would say that, I was like, you know, if we're 1-0, then I'm going to talk to you about that. Because I knew to be 1-0, we'd have to beat Bowles. And truthfully, I think for us, that was as big a mental hurdle as it was physical, because we've had the lead in that game a few times in the last handful of years in the second half. And for us to come back and win that game was just from the mental perspective for our psyche was enormous, and then that kind of propelled us forward. So that was a really big deal.
All right, so let's talk Escambia first before we look at this next opponent. And Devontae Lyons has been, you already know you've got a lot of talented guys. Either it's Hewitt throwing it, Lyons running it, but it all came together this past weekend.
Yeah, the cool thing about it was we're playing a team that plays great defense. Escambia plays tremendous defense. They got a free safety that's, he got a pair of SEC offers last week. He's a great player. They play tight coverage, great defensive line. And we were able to be efficient on offense. We had one turnover, which was kind of a freak play, but overall we're physical and held on to the football. And our defense really took the game over in the second half. And that was just really meaningful to me, because to move on in the playoffs, you're going to have games that are like that where it's a grind. And then our defense is what stepped up. And our offense is super talented. They've had most of the headlines, justifiably so, but to have a full team effort, and special teams was tremendous. It was a big part of the game. So that was just a really quality win for us against a really good opponent.
Couple more for Brian Braddock as the Yellow Jackets will host Choctawhatchee, and they play on in the postseason. So give us an idea of what you see when you look at this club, because you're talking about recognizable names at the high level in high school football.
Yeah, no, it's a big challenge this week. Obviously, Choctaw ended our season last year. We're excited for the challenge. It's what a regional final should be. At this point in time, everybody's good, so every game should be tough. They're bringing in a running back who's one of the best players in the state, and he had success against us last year, and he's a big challenge. And we're excited to take that challenge on, so it should be a great regional final.
When you break it down, and you're going to ask your guys to give you a little bit more, but one thing that you might have picked up on tape this past week against Escambia that you'd like to clean up for this one.
Well, we're going to continue to be challenged by tight man coverage. That's going to continue to be the thing from here on out. And Escambia was able to slow us down some, so that's Choctaw's MO as well. They get after the quarterback. They pressure a lot. They have an excellent, extremely athletic secondary, and I think our receivers. We got super talented receivers. Everybody knows that, but we want to see them in the face of similar athleticism against tight man coverage with a lot of pressure on them. See how well we can execute. And the the bright side of it is our offensive line's been tremendous, so we're confident in them. They can give us time to throw, but we got to be able to win against tight man coverage this week in order for us to be successful.
All right, so let's lay it out. You mentioned that alumni is going to come back, and I know there's a bunch of Yellow Jacket fans that are going to be fired up, and they'll be through there tomorrow with Thanksgiving. Just give us an idea of what the setup will be Friday and how fans can get out there and soak it up.
Yeah, we're going to be a 7 o'clock kick. A lot of the state goes 7:30, but we usually keep it at 7. 7 o'clock kick. We'll have a ton of alumni out, but we'd love to have the hometown come out and fill up the stadium. Thanksgiving weekend regional final. It's not often you have a chance to host one of those, let alone if we could somehow find a way to win, we would get to host a state semifinal. So there's a ton at stake for us, playing somebody who, at this point, I think any team left in our classification could win the whole thing. Yeah. So we're hoping for a huge turnout and a big home field advantage.
How do they find out about tickets?
GoFan.com. Just look up .co. Just look up Snelson High School and purchase them there. All wireless, cashless at our facility. But they're easily obtainable. Same as always for every home state high school game.
All right, beautiful. Listen, congratulations, Coach. We know that you want more, and Yellow Jacket fans on the First Coast as well, so go get it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
All right, man, for sure. All right, Brian Braddock, and like we said, the great teams, and, I call it, at the Brumley, Foots Brumley, and all those guys built it way back when. It's nice to see Brian Braddock keeping it rolling. Now, we missed out on Toby Bullock because he was walking out to the practice as they get ready to take on, is it Bishop Moore next for them? And so we missed out on him, but we'll say hello to Justin Barney coming up here in just a second. He'll kind of break down that game as well. Quick thanks and congratulations to one of our Gatorade Player of the Week honorees, and it is Trinity Christian's Cameron Anderson, 73-yard touchdown and a big tackle in the final minutes of the game against University Christian. You know what that means, JJ? That means he went both ways for Trinity Christian against UC, and that was a Gibby /Hacker approved Gatorade Player of the Week. Don't forget, nothing beats Gatorade, the proven sports fuel of high school athletes. Let's get into the big games that are still remaining with our man Justin Barney coming up next.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL.
Joe C. for the Preferred Group, Preferred Roofing, Preferred Builders. We're talking about a lot of people that have been in this community for a long, long time. They know what they do. They do it well. They make sure that the price that they're putting down as far as the work that they're going to do, that they're going to be able to deliver on price and quality. And so local is big, especially when you're talking about construction, roofing, big purchases. You don't want a joint that may not be around a few months from now. You never know. Make sure you go with a tried and true local company. PreferredRoofingJacks.com, PreferredBuildersJacks.com. Tell them Joe C. sent you.
Get opinions, observations, and stories from David Garage.
Let's make a play for 1010XL.
Brought to you by your local Napa Auto Care Centers. Mondays from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today.
Let's go, Googans. Let's go, Googans.
On 1010XL.
Unleash automotive excellence at Osteen Volkswagen of Jacksonville. Osteen Volkswagen is not just about cars, it's 27 years of family-owned operation and community. Visit Osteen Volkswagen today on Phillips Highway and at osteenvw.com.
It's Beard's Diamonds' incredible 43rd anniversary sale, going on now until November 30th.
All designer settings, pendants, bracelets, earrings, engagement rings, even Rolex watches.
On sale up to 43% off at the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida, and don't let the state decide your fate.
W's and L's are what it's all about in football season, and you know you want to be a winner. Well, don't forget about calling Florida Home AC at 777-4300 before all your friends come over and that AC or heating unit conks out. You'll have that L on your forehead, and that sticks. Make sure your AC can handle the heat and invite the gang over for a win. Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, with prompt and quick service to make sure you stay cool in the heat and warm in the winter.
It's the blog players put their pads on for.
So we want it, we got to bring it.
My thoughts and observations on our home team. That's what I share with you every week on my blog.
Roland Reach Plumbing brings you Hayes Blog on 1010XL.com.
Do you love sports? Do you also love wings? Enjoy the best wings in Jacksonville in Miramar, Mandarin, and Oakleaf at Players Grill. Watch your favorite teams and enjoy burgers, pizza, salads, and of course, wings. Players Grill, where the neighborhood meets.
It's a primetime showdown you don't want to miss when your Jaguars take on the Bengals. This highly anticipated Monday night matchup is also our My Cause, My Cleats game, when your favorite players get to champion causes close to their hearts by wearing custom-designed cleats. Plus, don't forget to wear your darkest gear to help us black out the stands and defend the bank. A limited number of seats do remain, so head to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000.
This is Keith Catlin for Catlin Truck Accessories, and we are so blessed to be in business for over 100 years. Over 100 years of the best product and customer service means you can count on Catlin. From roll-and lock bed covers to Lear toppers to cam locker toolboxes, Catlin Truck Accessories has you covered when it comes to your truck or van. We do those too. Got a fleet of vehicles? We can outfit them all.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
One name, one location, 100 years. You can count on Catlin.
To be our best selves, we need to take care of our whole self. That includes your spirit, mind, and your body. At the First Coast YMCA, our members find balance in spirit, mind, and body with unlimited group exercise classes, adult sports league, health coaching, and programs designed for chronic disease prevention. And when the Jaguars win, you win. We're waiving the joining fee the day after a Jaguars win, all season long. Use promo code DUVAL or visit the First Coast YMCA near you and find your why at fcymca.org.
John, I'm so glad I called Clearwater to get my sprinklers, yard drainage, and seamless gutters in tip-top shape.
Thanks, Frank. It's great to see you so relaxed here at the house, away from the microphone.
Yeah, John, just hanging.
All right, well, let me go ahead and turn the sprinklers on and show you how everything works.
Wow, look at that coverage. How good is that?
All right, Frank, let's go!
Clearwater Irrigation
and drainage to
ClearwaterJacks.com.
you love free. And at Ameris Bank, so do we. That's why we're proud to offer worry-free, hassle-free Ameris Bank free checking. Manage your money your way with convenient access to digital, mobile, and telephone banking, all with no monthly service fee or minimum balance requirements. At Ameris Bank, we're with you. For more information or to open an account, visit our local bankers in person or online at amerisbank.com/free checking. Other fees such as overdraft fees may apply. Ameris Bank, member FDIC, equal housing.
Rock Resurrection Tour, starring Theory of a Dead Man and Skillet. Friday, November 24th, Daly's Place. Same night, same stage. With special guest Saint Asonia. On sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Theory of a Dead Man. Skillet. Together live.
Malfunctions in your electrical panel can lead to hazards like fire or power outages, leaving your home at risk. So leave it to the pros and Mr. Sparky.
888-8 Your on-time electrician, Mr. Sparky of the First Coast.
This is Dr. Turner Vossler, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
The Jaguars are 7-3 and currently sit atop the standings in the AFC South. But Doug Peterson's message to the team is they've still got work to do.
Well, we still haven't done anything, right? I mean, yeah, okay, we got in the playoffs last year, but didn't do anything. You know, we didn't finish, right? So we have to play the same way. We got to play as we've got everything to prove. Our back's against the wall. It's a playoff atmosphere. You can't make mistakes. You saw Sunday when you take care of the football, you know, and you create the takeaways defensively and special teams, you can score points. And that's what a lot of these games boil down to.
Doug Peterson this morning. Jaguars at Texans, Sunday at 1 o'clock. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's the high school half hour on XL Primetime. Brought to you by Gatorade. Fuel up with Gatorade at your local Winn-Dixie. And I-9 Sports, the way youth sports should be.
I-9 Sports has got registration open for winter and spring right now, kids ages 3 to 17, boys and girls. They got new locations like West Connect Athletic Association and Fort Family Field in Bay Meadows, so make sure you check it out. Log on to i9sports.com and throw that 1010 in the promo code.
Let's ring up another guest on the All-Pro Roofing phone line.
Justin Barney's been there all the way. And, if they ever come up with a different slogan, it was always the Jags. It was always Justin Barney as he joins us now from Channel 4. How are you, Jay Barn?
Not too bad, Joe. So getting ready for a big Thanksgiving Day feast and some playoff football on Friday night.
You'll go with that phrase. It was always Justin Barney. If you look back and you think of all, I know every single year we think we're treated as something special, but we've had some good stuff for a long time. And I know that we've had teams play this deep, but just give us a real quick look back. The fact that you had Trinity and UC play down to the wire, Riverside barely getting knocked off. Obviously, Mandarin gets to play on and take on their opponent. St. Augustine hosting Choctaw. It's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good week and pretty good last week of football. And Mandarin going on the road and winning big over the number one seed in their region. St. Aug being St. Aug, Bradford being Bradford with that defense, and Bowles doing what Bowles does in the playoffs. So it's been a pretty good week. It's a pretty good season in high school football, and it's still going on. You circle Thanksgiving as the date. If you're a high school football coach, you want to practice with your fellas on Thursday morning for Thanksgiving, and we're blessed, and I know those teams are blessed to be practicing tomorrow morning with a game on Black Friday.
All right, so you now have Bowles getting Bishop Moore. Start there, and we'll try and hit all of these if we can.
Bowles is just consistent. Not a good regular season. 5-5 defenses. It was struggled, and you go into the playoffs with a 42-7 loss to Berkeley Prep, a team you could see again next week in the state semifinals. But something about playoff time just brings Bowles to the occasion. They've been to the state semifinals 4 years in a row under Coach Matt Hovland. They'll try and make it 5 with a trip to Orlando Bishop Moore. And you got to like Bowles' chances. They know how to get it done, even when the offense is not putting up big numbers, even when the defense is getting taken apart. Something about November football and those guys and that coaching staff just know how to win.
Yeah, it really is a testament to just what they have done, what they're used to, what they expect. That's for sure. And we take a look at, we just hung up the phone with Brian Braddock, and we take a look at the Yellow Jackets and what they were able to do on the road against the Scambia. Now they get Choctaw. That is no easy draw.
Yeah, Scambia came to the Hive last week, and a different kind of game. St. Augustine used to putting up aerial numbers. Lachlan Hewlett, his amazing cast of receivers that runs 4 and 5 deep. But they had to switch it up last week. The rain and mist. I heard some meteorologists say it was not supposed to rain, and of course it rained about the entire time I was there, and misting and nasty. The ground game and defense came up big. 17-14 game at half, and the defense pitched a shutout after that. Great Lusk. Some really good guys on that defense. Drake Lusk, a big linebacker. He's had 2 exceptional games in the playoffs. Now you get a Choctaw team that absolutely filleted Tallahassee Lincoln last week. You're thinking probably Lincoln this Friday for St. Aug, but Choctaw went to Lincoln and beat them by 31. So a rematch of last year's playoff game. Choctaw coming to St. Aug. See if St. Aug can flip the script and get it done this year. They lost 42-35 last season.
Yeah, I'm looking at the wins that they had this season. That loss early to Pace, it's like a distant memory. They did drop 2 games in the season, but you're feeling like they're peaking at the right time.
Absolutely peaking at the right time. But St. Augustine is too, and good to have a game like last week where it's not like Middleburg in the first round when you're running free and defense playing well. You're up 45-0 at halftime. And they needed a game like that. They need to get hit in mouth and respond and see how they did. And I think they did exactly that. 31-14 may not have been the cleanest game, but again, a playoff win is a playoff win, and I think St. Augustine is headed for the Final Four.
All right, Bartram. We mentioned their win earlier over Niceville. Now they've got to go to Gainesville, and Buchholz has proven they're tough, man. A good game for Ponte Vedra, but ended up losing that game by a couple of scores. What do you think, Bartram v. Buchholz?
Absolutely, I think it's going to be a good game, and I know you hear that and you say, "Man, that's Bartram got beat by 44-7 in the regular season by Buchholz. How do they come back from that?" Well, it's like last year, Bartram beat Buchholz in the regular season. You think they're going to win in the postseason as well? They met the regional final, same round as Friday night, and Buchholz beat them 21-20. So that ended a 12-0 season for Bartram. Lo and behold, Buchholz has got a 12-0 record right now. So I think Bartram can flip the script. They're playing hot. Lathan Biddle is fantastic. Had a 333-yard rushing game 2 weeks ago. Went for $190 last week. He's over 2,000 for the season. Anytime you got a back like that, that is very, very nice to have. Riley Trillo. If Bartram's defense can stop Buchholz, Fleming Island did it for 3 quarters, but Buchholz pulled away in the 4th. The Bobcats had some guys out last week, so I think they weren't as crisp as they should have been against Ponte Vedra. They are a good team. I think they could play for a state championship. But Bartram, the way they're playing offensively, I think they have a chance.
I love hearing that. That's for sure. We're talking with Justin Barney at Justin Barney TV on X, and then news for Jax.com/sports. So Mandarin may have been the one that we talked about the most at the beginning of the year. And then, an L here or there, and now we may be talking about them again at the end of the year. They got Seminole.
Yeah, and you look at what Mandarin did last week. I mean, they've been on the road 2 weeks in a row, and last week was the rematch against Lake Mary. Unbelievable quarterback at Lake Mary. Noah Grubb, sophomore, is flirting with a state single-season touchdown passing record, had 48 touchdown passes going into that game. He threw none last week against Mandarin after 510 passing yards a week earlier against Boone. So Mandarin's defense, I know we talk a lot about Jamie French, Tramel Jones, but man, that defense is just rocking. Jackson Copeland, big linebacker, Drake Stubbs, the safety, and then the ground game too. Tion Weiss had a 91-yard touchdown catch last week, a little short screen pass that turned into a touchdown. So I know we talk about the big guys, the Mandarin, the big names, the 4- and 5-star guys, but man, that defense is what is keeping Mandarin going. Anytime you go on the road and beat the number 1 region seed, the number 1 team in the class, 36-10. You got to like Mandarin's chances this week, and I think Toby Bullock and company can get it done. I think they're focused. Only time they've been past this round before, they won a state championship, so see if they can get past it again.
All right, so a couple more, and let's hit Baker v. Bradford, and both coaches have done sensational work. Rogers has been at both. Mays definitely deserves some credit. This is going to be a nice tilt.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a closer game than people expect. Bradford has played Baker County very, very tough, even in the 3 games they've had the last year and a half. First victory of the season this year, Bradford 12-0 over Baker County. So not a good offensive game. And I think if there's anything to nitpick about Bradford, I think it's that offense being held in check when they faced a good defense. Baker County did that in week 1, and, man, they have hit their stride. Kevin Mays, an excellent coach. He's loving to be practicing on Thanksgiving with his guys, and I think this is going to be a close game. They met last year in the regional final, and Bradford is the number 2 seed in the state this year, so they win this week. They get a state semifinal game at home. Cocoa, the number 1 seed in the state, so those two teams would not meet until a state championship game perhaps, so we'll see if that match materializes. I think those are the 2 best teams in the state for sure.
Love it. All right, here, hit us with that last one. Trinity hosting, Orlando Christian Prep coming in.
Yeah, these teams played a couple years ago in the playoffs, and OCP gave them a little bit of trouble. Trinity, for some reason, just hasn't been the same offensively this year. They've had injuries, inexperience, guys banged up. Darnell Rogers, big running back, playing through some injuries. Still a 1,000-yard season. Cam Anderson, leading tackler on the team, is now the number 2 running back. He's getting it done on both sides of the ball. I think Trinity wins this game, and the OCP Providence game last week tells the tale of how close it was, 28-25 OCP. I do think Trinity wins that game handily, but they've got a team called Chaminade standing in the way in 1M, and I think they may be the best team in the entire state outside of IMG, so that's going to be tough for whomever to knock off Chaminade for that 1M state title.
So the game, the one that you think might deliver the biggest thrilling finish is?
Yeah, I'm kind of split. I think St. Aug Choctaw will be good.
Mm-hmm.
I think Baker Bradford will be a defensive clinic, and I think Mandarin and Seminole will be a lot of points rematch from last year's state playoff opener, where Mandarin really felt like it should have won that game. Seminole was the number 1 seed in the in Class 4M last year, so I think Mandarin gets over that hump. But man, I'm split on those 3 games. I think those will be 3 blockbuster games. In-town game, though, I'm going to say Choctaw St. Aug.
All right, last one for you, and I know this is a moving target because it's never exactly the same. Who knows what the Florida High School Activities Association will decide next year, but are you okay with the M and the S because the rurals seem like they have a better shot than maybe the Metros do?
Yeah, it's 2 years in it. I think it's still going to be kind of fluctuations, and they'll reclassify. I like the idea. I don't know if in concept it works. I still think you need to seed 1 through 32 in a classification and let the best teams fall where they may. Break up the regions and give us an NCAA tournament style. But I do think it gives the Suburbans a better chance to compete for a state championship. The Metros are the Metros. Makes it a much tougher path for teams like the Bowleses and the Mandarins to get there and win a state title.
Yeah, that's the thing that bums me out really more than anything else. All right, dude, great stuff as always. Newsforjacks.com/sports, and you'll find out all of Jay Barnes' coverage along with Jamal and everybody else there, and definitely at Justin Barney TV. Thanks, bro. We appreciate it.
Take care, Thursday. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
You too, bro. All right, now he told us before. Is he a green bean casserole guy? I was trying to remember what it was.
Last week, I think that is what he said.
Yeah, because there's so many good sides. We had plenty of suggestions, that's for sure. My man, I'm going to call him America's caddy. Keith came in with maybe a challenge for your deviled eggs. Because,
I'm up for it.
Well, because he said crab meat deviled eggs with a little Old Bay on top. Favorite side.
Love that.
Yeah.
Now that's a little. I put bacon, couple little pieces of bacon on top of mine sometimes, but that's next level.
Well, if you in other words, if you're bringing them to every family get together, and by the way, you're now having to do that.
2 families.
Yeah, you're gonna have to mix it up. Yeah, you're gonna have to mix it up a little bit.
Super excited about that.
I'm just giving you.
I definitely don't just want to sit on my ass on the couch all day. I definitely want to go hang out with both families.
Don't want to do that. We had plenty of suggestions, by the way, as far as the relative that you don't want to see.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, we'll find out whether you're going to become that guy.
I'm fine with it.
At some point. All right, we'll say hello to the Francis Show coming up next.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Do you really want to spend your Black Friday savings on a blender? Heck no. You want to spend it on a new ride, and that means you've got to get to Arlington Toyota's Black Friday savings event. The sales department will be open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. on Black Friday at Arlington, and you can get financing as low as 2.99% on 10 new Toyota models. Camrys, Corollas, RAV4s, Tacomas, you name it, Arlington has it, with more than 500 new Toyotas available. Plus, every new Toyota purchase comes with Arlington's lifetime warranty. That's unlimited time and miles. Even Arlington's service department is in on the Black Friday frenzy with 20% off any service between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. on Black Friday. Go to arlingtontoyota.com to book your Black Friday service today before they fill up. Save that blender for Santa and spend your Black Friday on big savings at Arlington Toyota. In person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com.
1010XL brings you the orange and blue.
Got it! Touchdown! Gators!
The Gators chomp the chop in the swamp.
Chomp, chomp!
Florida State, Saturday at 7 on Jacksonville's home of Florida Gators football. 1010XL.
Ackerman Urology offers the most advanced options for improving men's health and vitality. Their board-certified urologists treat all prostate disease and sexual health issues. Call their new location at World Golf Village or visit AckermanUrology.com.
Hacker here, and look, football season is in full swing, and no game day setup is complete without the Sausage Dude sausage. I'm a sausage guy, and the Sausage Dude sausage is the best sausage I've ever had. Try their 4 terrific flavors, including Polish, Hungarian, beer bratwurst with jalapeno, and my personal favorite, the Italian today, by picking them up at any Publix in the Jacksonville area. Football and sausage, it's a winning combination. Go get the Sausage Dude sausage at any Publix in the Jacksonville area right now.
This is Walker Little of your Jacksonville Jaguars for Kingfish Pest Control. I've been a Kingfish customer for a while now and can confirm that their service is incredible. Not only do they protect my family from pests, Kingfish's office staff is the friendliest around. They even email me a photo of the tech before arriving at my home. Kingfish Pest Control is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Be sure to enter their Swat That Kick sweepstakes for free pest control for 3 years. Go to kingfishpest.com and tell them Walker Little sent you.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
Get ready for the games with Saturday Kickoff.
It's your Saturday morning fill of college football with Matt Hayes and Shannon Snell.
The Bueller Air Conditioning Saturday Kickoff.
The big games, the big matchups.
Brought to you by Sonny's Barbecue on 1010XL.
Thanksgiving is on the way. Time to pressure wash your house for when guests come over. First Coast Home Pros pressure washing services are gentle, yet incredibly effective. Let the pros wash all that mold and mildew away. FirstCoastHomePros.com.
When you head out for a night with friends or going to the big game, don't forget the best game plan to win the night is to designate a driver and guarantee a safe ride home. Hydrating between buds is the best play you can make. Bud Light, reminding all to drink wiser.
For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
You can have exceptional water quality without a hefty price. With Kanaya Water Systems, a premium, high-quality water and filtration system that won't leave your wallet taking an L. Search KENAI Water, Jacksonville.
Mark Watson for Hardball Creative, letting you know that Hardball has cooler promotions, but some people call them ice chests. Either way, check out the items you can put your company logo on at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the 2-minute drill. Brought to you by Tire Outlet. Keeping the sports world spinning with wholesale prices and premium service. Tire Outlet, Jacksonville's largest locally owned automotive repair shop.
We kick it over to Bartram in the SJC. Hayes Carline set up with the Frangie Show. The embedded and shredded over there at Island Wings. What is up?
Well, I tell you what is up. Lauren Brooks, God bless her, is bailing me out. She was supposed to be on with you guys, but I forgot the iPad at the station. So Lauren is making a quick run to the station to get the iPad, so we really appreciate that, so that we'll be able to stream the show. I had everything else, Joe, but I forgot the iPad.
Listen,
that's what's going on with us.
I've been through that, Hayes, as you well know. We had TD bring us a headset the other day. So, yeah. An extra headset. Yeah. I thought there were 4, and then there were 3.
So. Anyway, we appreciate Lauren Brooks saving the show before it even gets started. And, we're going to have a fun Frangie show. Obviously, we're getting excited for Thanksgiving. We're here at Island Wings Bartram. They've got some fantastic deals tonight. They've got great wing specials, great beer specials tonight to get us going on Thanksgiving. They're going to have 80s music trivia, which if I stick around, I will dominate. And anyway, so it's going to be a lot of fun. And we've got there you go.
Yeah, break it out.
There you go. I'm ready. So, we're going to talk all sorts of Jags, Gators, and Knowles and get ready for a great football weekend coming up on the Frangie Show.
Well, I tell you what, it's a huge weekend. Just leave us with one quick thought. I don't necessarily like this game for the Jags. I obviously think they can win it. They have the talent. But I think this is a worrisome one, Hayes.
It's definitely worrisome because of the young talent that Houston has. But I like the Jaguars in this game. I think they're coming in with a really sharp mental edge in this game. I think that they're playing at a high level. So I do think they go into Houston and get a win. It's going to be a tough game. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a rout. But I think the Jaguars win, somewhere like 28-20, somewhere in that range. So I think a competitive game, all the way through. But I do think the Jaguars get the win. I think this is one. The Jaguars don't mark many on their calendar. I think they've had this one marked for 2 months. And I think they're going to be absolutely ready for this game. So I like the Jaguars, but certainly it's going to be a tough game.
All right, dude, we will be listening. Enjoy it, and happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Take care.
All right, buddy. So Hayes, Frank, Lauren, they are all ready to go. RJ will be holding it down here. And we got to get out of here. By the way, JJ, I did have, one of our Italian paisanos, JD, from Sunset. He said you have not had Thanksgiving until you've had the Aiden Italian family meal. Seafood appetizers, then the antipasta, then the pasta like mariati or stuffed shells or lasagna. Then comes the prime rib, turkey as well, 5 or 10 different sides.
You're talking dirty to me, and I kind of like it.
Yeah, I think we could go. We may be ditching our plans, me and you.
Yeah, I would love to not have to drive to Ocala. Absolutely.
All right, here's this.
Now, today's takeaways, brought to you by Key Buick GMC, where our family dealership has been helping families buy vehicles for over 50 years.
So I'll take the takeaway and turn it into a PSA. And this is a Thanksgiving week, time to reflect, to be thankful, all that stuff. And Santa Lamb, Uncle Dave, has reminded me that if you can go to the website and help, they will have their Santa Lamb shopping spree. Big Al and I were going to make sure we mentioned it on the air, so I want to make sure I at least put the thought in your head, and we'll try and do it again next week. But it's Santa Lamb. That's L-A-M-M. SantaLamb.org, not for profit, of course. And you can just go there, get all the details, take part in something great is their slogan, and they want to help kids have a Merry Christmas. So don't forget Santa Lamb, LAMM.org. All the details are right there. So congratulations to Uncle Dave and all the people that are around him for doing it as many years as he's done it, because it's definitely a worthwhile cause. We are out. We say thanks to the Golf Club of Southampton. Don't forget Friday night on the patios. Head on out. Enjoy some of the music under the stars. Great menu, always set up by Chef Gary, and you'll have that, that fellowship coming out of Thanksgiving. You can keep it going right there at the Golf Club of Southampton, and call 287-PLAY if you want to get out and enjoy a great round of golf. It's just me and JJ right now, so I'm going to say, hey, bro, have a good, slow calla Thanksgiving.
Man. You have a great Thanksgiving as well. And to our listeners, we are thankful for you.
You better believe it. All right, so for Big Sirs, Maddie, and Mia, and us, have a great Thanksgiving.
Buckle